Residency Estate is a gated community located in Old Yundum, proudly developed by Swami India, perfect for all looking for a quiet life with luxury amenities within an enclosed setting. When talking about the benefits of living in a gated community, safety and security is top on the list. They allow extra privacy, take away the hustle of unwelcome solicitors, and create a safe haven for children to play in a trusted environment without traffic or speedy vehicles. A great sense of community develops through the meeting at a controlled communal leisure facilities, offering an integrated lifestyle. A green environment and well-managed communal areas are keys to higher home standards, elevated quality of life, and better property value should you consider home reinvestment in the future. Added to all is the location, just next to the airport and reconstructed main road, yet tucked in the tranquility of nature. Our purpose is one, your satisfaction. Contact us. Let us help you build your dream home in the Gambia.
Nga rod na lawa to kuma ta bak asira linga da fo ko nyi pound dinkila
hey elafta maboro la bank kalpo efa igiso eseo na yuna jang iba dinkila to kati yuna wallet ibe falindiro ke kan sandiri nyat
ni la yuna wallet to shi muna fanno tulo yabo mano kandrin en fen jama isi sanno la yona wallet to kono yalla kamo soto ila wallet to kono
alkana la konda no tay ka yuna wallet anatan tolle mukan na balwo fanondi abe sono yaren ko bulu podo nela mobile scan yo science ise maboro ke wato men diate
ko be sandro ke fangole ba ko ba ke kan dimbalem isi ñu lonko e sandro yona enterprise wato wati ani la yona wallet to la ibe lan kamo soto kay la wallet to kono
alina nga kafun na nyi yuna dimbayal kan kasandiro ke yuna bitikoto ali nga kata nyi ko kentat na sulo fa lolu si sandiro kije se ma boro fanan keje
moro jundi ana nyum ko di mabal ni kadeda
Assalamu alaikum badengol bismillah na Kerr Fatou programme ton kami natale aramisa bi murunta na jang koteke kachana ti mi alonko be kala kasa ko ma balti bayra ya alonko aramisa kachana ti mi alonko be kere bankoba of course APRC ko le tol to mandia but bi no to alliance APRC wala bi jaba na no to alliance bi fa waka na mo no very there is legal issues especially when it comes to the name of the APRC and other side also. I just want to be on record to say no to alliance faction. We will be jang and ngamira kumata la keso tajang kujamal ketajang first. We negotiation on the caring co. The two factions are trying to come together. Babi the Mansala side and Ifa Abakari side. Also, we also know Allah fundraiser minketa last Sunday at the Independence Day at the buffer zone. There were issues minketa J. Both and discussed obviously Honorable Nabe Kachala minketa some of the last time there was this Gambian fire in Foni, and this is something that me I'm very passionate about. Because I was telling somebody, you know, there's nobody is less Gambian than anybody. So Ningamen or Kafa at a certain place, it's important we have conversation around it so that we can bring more awareness about it. So B, Woka Challenge Jang and Uncle Foday, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Foday is my uncle from Almameh.
Thank you.
First Honorable Almameh Gibba, Foni, Kanasa. Almameh, welcome back to the show.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Almameh, let's start first with you. APRC for Abakari and APRC Babel Mansa. Iko albe kashakan murale murunan kilinge. What is the status of that? Obviously ngababila audio mwele, but I want to hear munebe kering right now.
Yeah, thank you very much, Fatou, and I also thank my brother who is also part of this novel discussion, and Kerr Fatou, you know, and all viewers who are in and outside the Gambia. The question is quite okay, and I think we are in a situation where the best approach for any political move in terms of gaining momentarily power, you know, and as the saying goes, any opposition is a government in waiting. What I do know as a representative of Foni Councillor and also a member of NATO Alliance, because I could say this very clear that we, the people, when they said that they're going to borrow, we said no based on consensus that Jammeh, who is a follower and the founder, said he is not, and that's what we went through. And on that note also we campaign as independent. But we went through the process of elections, and that's what we won. Parliamentary and also local government elections, we also won. So far in my constituency in Foni Councillor, the two councillors are all on my side. You know, and also we went through the local government elections. I can tell you statistics that when we were together in Jammeh's political party, EP8, where there was no fractions in between. You know, the chairman then, Bakari Saibo Sane, had won. The percentage that he had won, he got under the total votes of the entire West Coast. When we came as Noto Alliance, we superseded. I want to be clear, we superseded what when we were together. So here it's showing that per se,
the total number of votes?
The total number of votes when then Fabakari and us all together in Jammeh's political party, where the promotions you could hear, the ambience, the atmosphere, announcement, Jammeh's party leader, supreme leader, whatever, we unified as one of to find a candidate that was back at the side of Sane in then elections. So later we had these issues of others going on their side, others remain. That is us, we said we are standing and we are not going to borrow. And this is clearly manifested at where we went on to an independent, where we produced our candidate Ibrahim J.S. Sane of Brikama. So the votes that we have in the past election is more of than when we are with the Fabakari Tombonjata.
But during the National Assembly member elections, or even the between the mayoral and the councillors election, you could see the Fabakari team or the whatever, you guys losing ground in Foni, your main area. Did you notice that?
No, we didn't lose ground.
Because they were winning in areas that everybody thought you were going to win. They won in Foni in certain areas. In Somita.
It's in Block Ward.
Yeah, the fact is clear. You know, this is politics. But I want to develop for people to understand that they were at the top, had 5 MPs. We were nowhere. At a split in a blink of a month or so, splitting of course less than a year, we fought and regained the 5 seats of Foni under a total better votes than when they were voted the other group. So in that so doing, parliamentary came. I want to be very clear here, so that you can also understand. People are talking. For example, if you talk of in Sintet Ward, we had 1, they got 1. I can tell you for free that it's not only them, they joined with NPP and other coalition parties to fight for that particular seat. When you come to Bondali in Mayok Ward, they join with other political parties and fight for the seat. So in the Fonis, in the 5 Fonis, various wards of various councillors in each and every constituency, they use their, what we call an alignment, the alliance format. The alliance format is what they use to gain what they've gone. So now, if, for example, you could remove, in terms of Somita, block ward, it's about 50-something votes. You go to Mayo, it's about a very similar 30 or whatever votes. So I'm telling you, let's understand politics. If NPP had stood a candidate, or other alliance have also stood a candidate, divide them, and the total votes that we had, you will now realize that then the future could have been, we will still be in control of the rest of the area. But the reason behind is they went on an alliance, then even that alliance, you will not see an area where you have 100 votes or 200 votes in Foni. It has never happened. I could be proved wrong. But I know the Jarrols is about something. Imagine, Bondali is about something. Imagine you go to Berefet in Block was about 50-something. So you could realize that momentarily, you could say a change in the trajectory. So in terms of politics, we could say, even as our last analysis, we've said that not to ally, either you like it or not, it is the 3rd most vibrant political movement that is controlling the narrative of the 3rd position, irrespective of very strong political parties.
But the thing is, you are only doing that in one area, in Foni. The Fabakari movement, though, yes, you have taken Foni away from the MPs, and I still believe they have made a little inroads, even though they had the support of the NPP, but they have National Assembly members in areas where you have a bigger population, in Bundung and in Joshua. You guys were not able to get anything out of Foni. Would that say that you are only you can only get votes from Foni.
No, we don't. We don't.
Whoever wants to win, you wouldn't politic like that.
You know what I'm just trying to correct here is we have to understand the votes that West Coast had.
Yeah.
In terms of statistics, we are better to them in West Coast.
Yes, that's true.
We have to clear that.
That's true.
It's not about Foni alone.
That's West Coast, I mean West Coast, yes.
Because with all the joining with NPP, whatever, if NPP divide that results within the alliances, you realize that they won't have what you're supposed to. Now, I can also tell you this, West Coast aside, when you come to the other area, for example, in Olyundo, our candidate, independent candidate in Olyundo, if he had joined UDP, Abdullah Sise could have lost the results.
Yes.
I don't know whether you follow that.
Yes.
If UDP and we join with them, Abdullah could have lost the results.
Lose the results, that's true.
So meaning, in order the UDP had lost, is because of our candidate.
Your candidates, yeah.
Do you understand? And if you come to Bundunka Kunda, I can tell you for free, this is politics. Suleiman had did it instrumentally very well.
Yeah.
It's not about API, that's why he was voted.
No.
We have to clear that.
Suleiman
had done extremely well.
I'm from that
and
area.
I'm telling you, even our candidate in Noto Alliance in Bundunka Kunda was rejected votes because of the performance.
Of Suleiman.
And the peace coexistence with Suleiman, they see it already. Yes, we are together. Suleiman is ours. Let's give him a vote.
Yeah.
I can tell you.
He's a good candidate.
They have surrendered to vote their vote and now gave Suleiman to move. But not APRC had made Suleiman to win. And when you go to Joshua, it was also an alliance.
Yeah.
Now tell me, apart from Bundunga Kunda and Joshua, where have you seen them do it? And now we went up to the Sarakundas, whatever the back, or the sedimentarians. We stood up with the less resources. From them, the diaspora, me and others contributed. But they are backed by the incumbent, and they lose. We are not backed by anything. We are backed by the little resources that we have, a little contribution, little takeaways that diaspora can give us this, they give, and now they could make gateways. And also the number of candidates that we stood in the whole of the country, a political party of them, they didn't have that. So you could realize that. I know, in politics, what you could do is you test your grounds. And now where we have our candidate, they didn't have those candidates there. And where we have our candidate, you look at Abuko.
Yeah.
Omar Kwari had a very good margin with UDP and other political parties. If Omar Kwari didn't stood, maybe the candidate of theirs could have won. And Abuko again, they have a councillor.
Yeah.
He lose.
Yeah,
Omar Kwari also lose.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to say here is, our differences is bringing us issues that could not give us a great margin.
Could you say that your differences has given reason to UDP gaining more grounds in your areas and NPP also winning more seats?
No, that's fact. Nobody can dispute that.
Yeah.
I can tell you, NPP is a borrowed party. What I mean,
What do you mean
party.
borrowed?
They're from the UDPs, and the other people that said APRC is gone now, and the other from the NRP, the other people for they join together, GDC.
Yes.
You understand? I believe if we are solid, what I do tell people, as a politician, you have to be ready to face trial. You have to be arrested, face arrest. You have to, face issues that you don't have anything. But when you leave those issues and follow money, you end up failing. So if we had agreed and stand alone as APRs, without aligning or moving into alliance with any, I can tell you, Fatou, if presidential election is going to make difference, parliamentary could have been a game changer. And most of those spots in whether UDP won or NPP won is APRs. You go to Basse, will tell you, we are still whatever, but we don't have candidates in different areas. And others will even prefer, said, okay, no, before I vote UDP, let me vote NPP. No, before I vote NPP, let me vote UDP. Or before I vote UDP, let me vote GDC. Because APRC is not sin. So these are issues that do happen in terms of politics. But I believe, issues of talks is very clear as you have had. And that's what we stood. Before then, the same thing. When Jammeh said this, they follow. So for us, the reason why we could not agree, Jammeh said it and we followed it. And the same applies, he said he has not constituted, neither asked for, neither even assigned. So you heard what Jammeh said, if you want any alliance to be, it has to go through the executive. And us as representative, you cannot come and inform me, or even tell National Assembly, we are going into let's go into a negotiation table of a reconciliation. Not to alliance is a structured political movement. It's a structured one. We have all around, between the West Coast, the KMCs, the Banjums, we have our representative. So in as much as we're concerned, that umbrella that represent, and even in the diaspora, it has to go through a formal. That is, this is what is happening. We want to do X, Y, Z. But at the executive is not done. Jammeh also had came to clarify that he has not constituted, not even agree or assign people to do it. So we respect those opinions. And as much as we are concerned now, you know, you cannot, Fatou, you cannot tell me for us to go into a reconciliation. What had impacted for us to split? One, this is one thing that we need to understand. And if that happened, how can we make sure we change that notion? That you said, I am going to borrow, you went. This guy said, I'm not going to borrow.
He did.
I told one guy, Ahmad, who is a Facebook friend, who Alpha Photo, we had a very nice interview.
Yeah. Okay.
I told him for me, what I agreed, and I think the way forward is, the marriage, we should divorce the marriage. And when we divorce, what I mean the divorce the marriage is, they are still with Barrow. And they are now saying that till 2026. So when we make alliance, it means we are now still going to Barrow.
And you don't want to do that.
And that's not what we wanted.
But Honorable, I want to come here, Foday. You guys, look, Barrow is the incumbent. Today, the APRC party leader is the Speaker of the National Assembly. Huh?
Yeah.
Sidinjai was part of you guys, is the Deputy Speaker. Jahumpa Ambassador. Yeah. Rambo Jata, a councillor.
Yeah.
What else do you guys want? Fabakari said this. I remember one of your press conferences, he kept saying, APRC is going to be the next government, or we are going to be part of the next government. And you are part of the next government. You are alliancing with the incumbent.
Okay.
Ninkodolom, Albasu Tolale. Nin campaign you see if you offend the NPP candidate or the APRC.
That's right.
I mean, why is it difficult to say, look, for the interest of our party, let's join everybody together and do, you know, and work towards that. What is the problem?
Okay. I mean, but nga follow for nga for bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Content about it. Pour join new platform today.
How?
Manta tala aliya kuma sada me ni karo minke. That's the question I want to answer.
Yeah.
And we'll have to make it very clear to the listeners. Priya Lonko, there's only one APRC.
Fabakar Nyulda.
No, Fabakar does not own.
Hani legally told the time.
No, but Buffalo.
Okay.
There's one party in the Gambia called APRC. Across the globe, everywhere strategy, political parties sold.
Yeah.
It can issue totally to a point that it can do command the backbenchers la, it can do command the a political party of APRC's magnitude. New World Coibital an alliance with a new party. Miyalonko has not even been tested, has not tested the ground. I think there is a formality, normal procedures and protocols.
Okay.
Ning ayatra hani ayatra ko control balantale purkata because it only amira control nga barole kong. That is wrong. It's the protocols and the procedure that they have followed to go to Adama Barrow. People have been asking questions because the party constitutional, it differs from other political parties like constitutional. One thing I can tell you that the constitution is the framework of the party, and I will dictate the chairman and the party leader appoints his people into the executive.
Yes, how?
So until put it at a stage whereby we were following the dictates of the constitution and in the Congress resolutions, which nobody can change. When it came to sign, decide Purkata, it will at the helm of the party. Jammele instruction dealer MPP. Listen to this. This is very important.
That's true. Yeah.
Niko Jammele Foye, Jammeh is telling us no. Let them go. Go and discuss. There is no at any point where Jammeh ko alter ali join MPP. No Jammeh Udinu. Automatically, they should not have gone then doing consultation with the people. In Jammeh, we should go. Why do they go out to consult with people? And I powers the President Jamile to tell them do this and yake. Have you ever heard at any time after 2017, Kabriya Jamil in January, that APRC has called an extraordinary Congress or an emergency? It didn't happen.
But
No, it didn't happen.
Congress will mean kita
2017, it didn't happen. How did Fabakary become an interim party leader? I will tell you if you don't know. Yeah, Jammi, he organized to start a group because after 2016, it was a difficult time. In regrouping, they moved on the tax deal, but they needed a chairperson. When Fabakary declared whether APRC won the elections in 2016 or not, I think they retired. But then Yaya Jammeh, Monata for chairmanship, Balanta Mununkele, Yaya Jammeh Chorr. Akako left to put interim party, you look after it, interim party leader and chairman. He told me, Yaya Jammeh Minkai, and in APRC, I mean, based on all that, so he will not leave the party like the Abakalali. So it was then the powers vested on Yaya Jammeh, I only deal Purka interim party, but he still continued to be the party leader. He didn't reject it. I told Bay again from 2017, for them, Congress Bekala 2018, he was dictating affairs. I have a video which I can share with you. I mean, before about the government, the coalition government, Adam Barrow headed. In 2018, I can tell you that when they did the Congress in Buyam, the Congress resolutions cannot be changed by anybody. They have been endorsed and finalized by the Congress. Fabakary man sembo soto, Yaya Jammeh in equatorial Guinea man sembo soto. The Congress only power soto that supersede the constitution of the party. Those resolutions made it absolutely clear that Yaya Jammeh remains the party chairperson and the party leader. They even use a superlative to call him a supreme party leader. That even if Mingo Constitution, they don't understand how laws goes because Congress ni sembo warta constitution oti wala apoko he's a supreme leader. So it whether yake constitution is binding. So Fabakary, the resolution said he still remained to be the interim party leader. Motio Doubtler is there. And there was no election. If there was elections, you people who went to cover it would have got a headline. And in election it was going to be only one position, that is chairman and party leader. And that didn't happen. So Kabrin Bota we moved. So to cut it quickly, 2020 Lengantaka Congress soto. But because of the pandemic, it was moved to 2021. And that was held in Penchami. Billahi, wallahi tallahi. It will agree tako. They have moved the resolutions of 2018 and added some other few things there, which includes reviewing the constitution of the party. There again we have IEC there, like in 2018, we after election the IEC conduct go and send your journalists to go there whether they have conducted any election. Amanke. Any time Yaya Jammeh was changed to another leadership, that would going to attract a headline. It never happened. So, Sign, tell me, when did they change the leadership of Yaya Jammeh? Which means still the constitutional powers vested on Yaya Jammeh in Equatorial Guinea still stands. Because I tell you, hire, I can fire. I will tell you some people, I mean hire, they accept. We call Fabakary and said, I want to appoint Emeba as the deputy party leader. Did they reject it? No. It was accepted.
It was accepted.
I'll tell you, I'll sing Yasi fire. He was fired. I'll kid him fire. He was fired. I'll carry fire. He was fired.
Barry, how long coming for?
If you allow me to go ahead. So in coming and the still the powers are vested on him. Min Ayatrako, an interim party after 2021, jamming election this year, Kabitulka advocate Purmata Nia, Min Fabakary extraordinary Congress commande or an emergency one that is still binding. So Nia Yaya Jammeh leadership falling jeto. Fabakary is now a legal leader, elect. But I'm more falling for Yaya Nata Diamuko. I have dissolved you. Not dissolved. So what do we call that? Formal legal bank and the Yaya Jammeh still not Gambia leadership. They should have called an extraordinary Congress or an emergency Congress Puka foko the leadership le falena. No man ke fok kabri yaya lota kanela ko. Internal leadership ngena fonko tale. And I have appointed these people and they rejected. So it only told Jeleko as a splinter group or rebelling agents going to Adam Baro. No rebel agent, the leadership of Fabakar. I can swear that billahi wallahi ta'ala. Nintol's agents, rebel agent, the leadership of Fabakar. Nin Fabakar futata dam into futala water. But Nintol agents, what the rebel agent is going to Adam Baro. So we are just okay. Wala nanti company nika for Fabakar phone. Is he a legal leader of this party? But because Atata coalition okono, he is backed by the government.
But wala mimo abon backed by the government da made. By IEC ko. Fabakar le tobi je yalo nin congress keta kodi nin congress keta momo e congress ke nal pareta alka listol de da ali asamba IEC wala katara patiola kaitol to wala katara je IEC I remember I think it was me I had an interview with the chairman and I went fonte wolonko Fabakar nyolela tobe itol bulu itol wala recognize.
How did it happen?
Wala tin hani saying you mundi bitelet but they did not go on the APRC itata independent level because they cannot use the APRC name because they are not itomantra IEC so legally wala ninko legally patiba Fabakar nyola be itol bulu bi
before you go another point can clarify after the 2018 Congress the Congress was legal whatever was stated there and agreed was binding and legal. Okay? Yajami Supreme Party leader. Fabakar Tombonjata interim party leader. Why didn't they take that to IEC? Okay, if Yajami le Tobondije, if Fabakar Tokejeto. That was not what was agreed at the Congress in Biam. Wala nankala legality question. You understand? So when they did that, I protested. Why should that happen? Because that was not what was agreed at the Congress. The explanation I got from Fabakari, at the time, there was an electoral act which stated that anyone who is resident outside the Gambia, you cannot be a political leader, a party leader, or in an executive. Resident, mark that word, resident.
Yes.
You understand? Kabriofo, because I can't interview, chairman Oko, by the way, ya jamme fonto mantara on this because what time Fabakar kate dal num bakele ko ala credibility anyanta resign lale anyanta ni bekela all this what time la nata kafo Fabak APRC ko kany fo bari ya jamme fonto mantara so we all become bis jakalta why then people started coming kabriya ninga I mean for wala mote o act wala tinna it will silata ni ya jamme tokeje IEC be patio ban lale I insist that is wrong. We need to go to the Supreme Court for them to interpret that law and look at resident because Yaya Jammeh is not resident in Equatorial Guinea. Something took him there. Look at the lexical meaning of resident, and you look at the contextual meaning of the local naming, and I came to be vindicated. Bakari Dabo, and so on, they challenge it, and it's not. And I'm on a human right violate. Hani Kabrit Woman Sakunda Bakalaji, I stated that that is not right, because I had a madula Nyantole violate. So Kabrit and Apona Maniata is Sontano, okay, what I to the Supreme Court, interpret. IEC Yaya Jame ban, attend APRC Patio ban. But anything mutual left them in Falena, Ikapoya Leninga IEC ban, and in Tolma laughing IEC ban, and we trusted them. I personally trusted them, even when they said the Kota Barole, because I trusted my executive, but I don't trust Baro. The reason why I said that, I agreements Minta Ami kept. That does not mean that I hate Baro. I'm talking about what happened. In order for country to move, for political parties to move, there are two things maybe human being Bala Fatu. No more falling, the country is not going to go with that attitude and behavior. We've seen the leadership and attitude towards the people, how they promise people, how they come in, come manipulate Nyami, politics. So we didn't agree. What Fabakar stated ko, Monu Santa, Imon Song, at the Kaito sign lale to agree to go to the 5 Farah. And there is nothing that they signed. And another thing, I told media, APRC duality. We didn't know the whole party, what was agreed. What was the agreement between APRC and NPP? Normal. We went to warrant to go there. You want to take us there like you normal already. We are following media. We are not going to say this agreement because we don't want people to see the black hole and criticize it. That is found wrong. You have to bring it in a loophole so debate. But if I say cultural agreement,
don't agreement, but I remember interview. Go ahead.
I think, as you have said, we are independent.
Yeah.
And we are proud to stand in.
But why are you still using APRC name though?
No,
I think because I call APRC no to alliance.
No, I think
APRC to useless. And the Walker T-shirt or Walker print that useless.
APRC. Have you ever heard that Foday has been expelled from the party? No, I'm asking you.
No.
Let me help you.
The green Sonko useless.
No, let me help you.
How do you
let me help
activity,
you.
yeah.
You know the issue that we need to understand.
Yeah.
Fracas do happen.
Yeah.
And now, for example, why are they working on the sea? Let's reconcile.
Yeah.
An error has been committed.
Yeah.
We have to understand.
Who started the reconciliation?
No, it's not a binding one. It was just a so-called.
I told you left.
No, the problem is, for us, there's no formal reconciliation. We have to be very clear.
Okay.
It's not formal. I think lastly, you could also listen to Duduja had said at their party level, it's not discussed to formalize.
Okay.
Jeremy also at the executive of NATO Alliance, it's also not discussed to formalize it. So it's just like people group, I don't know, let's do this. This is how they are doing it.
Yeah.
But we can clearly show among formal, and that's why Jammeh came to clear it down. There is nothing that is formal. If they want, force them return the papers. Then from there, they go through the executive. After coming for a while, I want to clear this. We went to independent in Foni.
Yeah.
We campaigned thoroughly without even violating any act of IEC. We won. I want to be very clear.
Yeah.
Local government elections came, we also did the same. After coming, James Willem, for Almameh. And I've been saying this, and I think it's high time we also inform me along.
Yeah.
Almameh will never like the progression of APRC, neither the Jammeh supporters. Do you know why? Almameh, you follow our statement.
Yeah.
A referee in a presidential election that almost brought this country to a blaze. Almameh said he's happy
that we lost
for an APRC losing an election that the dictator is gone.
Yeah.
A referee. But some of you journalists, have you ever put a test to Almameh? You're a referee.
Yeah, he should resign.
And he was the guy who brought this country to flames.
Yeah.
And because Fatou, this is not a football game.
Yeah.
The referee may decide whatever. You have bodies that constitute elections. An error happens. First, you know, that's why I tell you, even in parliament, when I travel outside parliament or the areas, I said the narration must be clear.
Yeah.
Why is it that Jammeh said yes and he said no? What they fed the international community and other areas that they are misinforming the people. Jammeh said yes because it was said the election not attended. Jubilation keda. And we can all attest to it. A call has been made. And I can tell you, that simple advice, Jammeh Mendi Barola, if he could have adhered to that advice alone, I'll be happy with Baro. Yes. That simple advice, that don't joke, don't compromise with
the security of the country.
Yes.
But now you are not even safe in your bed here.
No, I'm not. That's the fact.
I'm not even safe when I reach home. Journalists are not safe.
Just today when I was coming with my
even rats are not safe in the Gambia. Rats.
Yeah.
Even bulls, you go to full cattle areas, they're not safe.
Nobody's safe.
You know,
there's so much insecurity.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So now, what I'm just trying to put across is, Kabri Waketa, IEC, not Jammeh, not Barrow instructed. IEC came and said they had an error in the side of Basse, the figure transposed. Therefore, the new results, as the status quo remain, is XYZ. Jammeh, but then let's go to the ballot box.
Yeah, 2 sets of results now.
I cannot understand. You said this, it go dundu, indo go danda. But now, here again, after all the processes, the peace brokers here, as a referee, the Nathan and tell Barrow to be, I will even sack him.
No, but I want to come to that. Yalong atol political actors all.
this country, the political actors, it's all like a problem of cost bankoka.
I think I will agree to some extent.
Let me come. IEC chairman, before the National Assembly elections, Coach Pasamba Jolia raised like a la time of Bantale.
Ala tam bantale, yeah.
Ala time Bantale.
Yeah.
They brought a la appointment letter anala fenko. These were civil society groups near race. I remember Coach Pasamba Jolia race. Kafa time Bantale anyante dahal, right? What election okana? IEC statement of bondi ikavanga more okay, let's see our contract muntumala renewta. Imam Mojabi, Imam Fenatina. Standard newspaper followed it and they told Standard he was renewed, it was renewed. So Molko after the election of Otanyanta Bana, one in Bitema, no single soul is talking about it.
No one.
The political actors will wait until another election, 26 nanata, ni I like Almameh continue they have got no time bantale. When we have started a process, the only process was Kumasita. You cannot disrupt the process because IEC chairman the president has to be, in accordance with the constitution.
Yeah.
But now, Natra, the chairman BJ, if the government is satisfied with him, filije. Atoli minyan ta kuson son na moment ra fem foka nobody is raising it. Ali but Foni election of Destalia raise. At that point, me ko iba bondi lebe instability in the process, and that is not fair to the population.
Now let me inject you on that. The reason is very clear. Fatou, this was a guy.
Yeah.
Almameh Jai. The coalition government, whatever government that is in place now.
Yeah.
A caricature.
All the political parties.
Then,
except for APRC.
A caricature. But today, we've seen a shift again. The party has now, covered him again. We've seen other people caricaturing it.
Yeah.
And even you said the political activity, not only that, civil society groups. When issues of National Assembly, 5th legislature, when they pass a motion of coming loan for National Assembly members, civil society, they took that to court.
Yeah.
It was averted. But have they tested this issue of Almameh Jai? Do you know, I'm not saying, some civil society groups are politically motivated.
Yeah.
So now the reality is on all of us. It's not only political actors, but also civil societies and media. And now, as you have said, Standard, when they echo that, which media has ever reported for the past years, Almameh Jai, we've seen the issues when they said Deda Haidara was killed. In every newspaper, you see who killed Deda Haidara. Until likely, it's now known. But now, what is stopping media to be using a portion within part of it and ringing the bell?
But what is stopping the political actors also talking about it?
That's what I'm saying. Interest them.
Yeah.
So
they are interest them. They don't want to.
But now.
I would love to add
yes.
Before I go to this, because I love to point and clarify.
Yeah.
What community and the Dowlam? The government, they are not doing their job properly. The checks and balances are not being done properly. Mole Almameh Jai appoint. And there is a specific establishment, they check all the time. They should be checked. So that should not only be civil society or politicians coming, but the expert, the technocrats, to see to it that this is, new institutional, in 2025 or 2024, Foday Chorr should retire. But why extend his contract without even telling the public? And until at the National Assembly, because our position is such an important post. Is based on neutrality. But what is the kana neutrality for? Because ate clearly ate a content APRC la lusola. We are tinale ala credibility dental. Fabakari ko wali use against him.
Exactly.
But today, have you heard Fabakari talking anything about Almameh Jai?
No.
So that's the politician. Every type of politicians we have. Well, and Konila attitude and behavior was change towards the nation. But it's just egocentric. It's not going to go. So, 2017, I'm quoting President Adama Barrow. Ako 2017, Fabaka Tomon Chata Sambayale. I will promise only Diala. Ko, Nani UDP, Montanabota UDP. Ate been to Sambalayale.
Faro Fongole for the books.
So, breaking Adama Barrow but a UDP. And we open another Adama Barrow into some APRC Lakwa and Adiata Adiamondian, Avocado sign and Atata jail.
Come to Kufabaka Kanyina for Co. APRC will either be government or in government.
You've answered yourself now. You have answered your question. I heard.
17.
So, whether you know, Dolko Funami, Muni or Muna. We are either in State House or be part of it. Because in 2017, I would have made a decision. Because I make APRC Muna Party. Can we have a decision or an agreement going to Adam MPP, and if it's in the interest of the country and in the interest of the party, I should know, I have the right to know the content of the agreement. So, little content long, and little man dam pen na party kono, even the min binta party kono be, where that's totally purkalong. Ikomanya na alam na.
But in the interview with, see, I remember Rambo, one and only interview na minke, o interview nga nene to nyong sotala, wolong kain, and then came out, but wolong do that. But I remember that interview, and I kept pushing, whenever I pushing, even you deep in all that, and I'm like, okay, whatever you want to say, but he kept saying, ko Jamele already told it, but he said, ko anything by negotiate la, Jamela na, wala la preconditioned. And he said that. So I'm thinking, if that was one of the preconditions, and ngatol fana lafta wala, wouldn't it just be right to accept it? Because baro President Yalabi, nim baro lafta Jamena na binale. You understand? So, and ngatol lafta la party leader na le party ke party back and work hard to be back in government.
Yes.
Why was it difficult to work with them and achieve that?
Because
Jamema song. Amazon kate Roma?
Jami onko le ujan ni atre tol ko itola ko le ko le fode ko jamila ko la tne tol tata je pour jamme sinana jamme afole ko hani why should they go then
if so is the case did he prove to you ko in their agreement is part of it yani verbal ndasi na ngava
agreement
baro promise for ofen akel speaker speaker
no what we were told do you know what we were told
what were you
that they'll have 5 ministers other areas whatever you're left for
but always speaker is will be
I know what I'm saying I know
speaker of the assembly
I know speaker is
what does that got to do with APRC?
So you see,
if I were
it gives you access.
Yes.
It gives you resources. Yeah, when you're in government, you are open to resources for a party.
Can now carry all resources and do whatever.
No, I'm not saying that. But
it's not about resources. Speaker is just like a referee in the house. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And the speaker cannot make any decision in his position without parliamentary. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Because, for example, if we want to do anything, speaker will only be a referee. I fought on affair.
But you and I know.
But
I understand what I'm saying here.
You and I know speaker influence.
Now, in the influence of speaker.
How will that influence use? Paramilitary
speaker has
influence. If you use an influence in a negative way, it will haunt him.
Yeah. Now listen.
So the influence that I'm saying, the influence.
Yeah.
Even he has that influence. What I'm just trying to clear here is this: his influence will not let the party to grow as the way it's supposed to grow. I can tell you this: Fabakari before and Fabakari now. It's quite different. Fatou can criticize no. Is it not happening?
Fabakari press conference was the best press conference ever.
But now he has a double role. He's the Speaker of the House. Do you think he'll be able to caricature the government's move in anything?
Well, you
understand? So maybe when you borrow yourself to an agent, you will act what the agent wants. So in so doing, representation. Niko party a law anyandeka long kan onyame. Inyandeka kudo together. If not, you cannot make certain decisions. Because you remember don't like call another if you said please. So imagine you will be confined to one end. The politics that you're supposed to it are. That is why it reflected. I know if we are together, anywhere, any village, any hamlet, left like a national assembly, councillors or chairperson on the diamond. Mbalon la fatu ta fola ko nono jang e kan alon jang atuje when they align this is what NPP did to them that jang leave us they are always subjected to Foni and Bunonga Kunda alone
and Joshua
you see how compromised they are now. The end result is NPP is trying to grow. In order for us to grow, we have to suppress this. So they are tactical. So in the NPP must grow. But APRC, so far you have answered to our tune. We have fun. Come here, for they are giving them this, they are giving them this phone. But we have to suppress you. And in which neither go honey, it means what is coming will not come. So you have to agree. That's why a compromise not a tenant. So a political party, you have to put your grow. You have to be subjected to your wish and aspiration at a particular long count.
So how come for
in addition to Pabakar Domani, right?
Yeah.
Kabli nominated MP Sol declare. Muli akmate ka complain. Left and I looked at the 5 minuta. Because the only competent person in the speaker to Pabakar. And when Kabrin Tata we saw the game, I was there.
Yeah.
Naming nominate Wokono. Naming don't nominate Okoyes. For a cool Jebang. Okay. Punte, there's nothing wrong to Pabakari appoint.
Yeah.
I think at that point, because I think 10 years as a lot of experience
as a lot
of
yes.
No more. But in left for the Jawolo, I have cited conflict of interest and Wopon in Batandele in it will form us a political party for a certain decision in the interest of the party and the interest of the party militants. Because it is a government call. Okay? As the speaker of the ruling government, parliament, okay?
Yeah.
Before a political party will lead. Then you are no longer an opposition. You are not opposing.
Yeah, you cannot do that.
Yeah.
You cannot do that.
So there is a conflict of interest. Wudung among Fabaka among co MPP la interest or APRC la interest. What is affecting the nation? Aka bankole affect. The other arm of the legislative aka accept because make 2 examples dilemi atin onko conflict of interest law. Ngale do malale la dialogue kono 1 kabrim phoning call na independent candidate sol winter Fabakari min declare from his mouth won ibijel do be jole receive like man na faso they cannot do anything, they cannot bring anything.
Yeah.
All right?
Kerr Fatou.
So let me finish that. Kabring our 4. Do you understand? Nka conflict of interest mean panata because I don't focus on which status as a party leader.
Yeah.
Because at the National Assembly, at the Aloniko, he can only referee, but he cannot even tell the MPs, don't put this man in the select committees of defense. Don't put him in the select committee for security. Don't put that man in the select committee for education.
Fabakar kamol by house to kono.
I'm not running out. So there was conflict of interest.
Yeah.
Killing. Fulanjang. Fabakar ni akamulu by J. I never APRC or MPP. There are personal grudges. Then that you need somebody to the house. Both Atipo and Imunukake, they should be mature enough to handle that, not to bring it in there because it jeopardizes
the interest of the house.
The interest of the house. So therefore, conflict of interest can happen. Not today. If I were Fabakari, while police only a decision okay, I would not respond to the press release of Hussein Udabo because Hussein Udabo was doing it as an opposition and not even saying anything to the APRC. But please, me alone control the Kejo.
Yeah. So I want to
ning botauto Fabakar kabri dialogue commandi. Fabakar could not go. I'm only key. What I was thinking is he should still remain as a bona fide member of APRC and resign from his position as the leader and give it to somebody so that they can run the party. That's why Fabakar cannot be at the National Assembly. Want to do all the tax, and then want to run the political party. That's what MPP did to suppress one of the strongest and most committed party in the Gambia. So now today, they have succeeded in dividing us. One party lebije, but you divide. So in order to identify us, controlman Sonkata Baroya, no alliance because we don't accept the alliance to MPP. But we did an alliance with GDC.
Yes.
But what we did was tactical. Immediately after, we came back and stood.
Yeah.
When it finished, because we told my agreement, read out to journalists. Now they can say it's up to 2026. But in Buffalo, no, the agreement would have been okay, son. After election, we pull out. We come back. Honey, appoint, we can still stand as an opposition. But we told now APRC, Are they opposing the government? No. So they should not even have invited them to that dialogue because they are not in a position.
Saying
As far as I can say, it's my opinion. Anyway.
National dialogue kita.
No.
Inte sita na tala to janen ko. Immediate invite lente ode mantala nin Kerr Fatou. Ntol mental dialogue. Because nte man na fajeje. In my own capacity, I believe the only dialogue I want is the president to sit here and answer my questions, for the ministers to sit here and answer my questions.
Yeah.
That is my role. To question them about public issues me along ko ay bang kudingol na.
Yeah.
Ndela do ko mo naman ke otin tele man sa problem so.
Yeah.
Ndela do ko mo ke ka. So I did not go, Kerr Fatou did not go because we don't believe in it, because man believe ko mimbe fola jabe implement la.
Yeah.
But molko abe mole natila together. And I said something also here nko ni ko dialogue president of follow la nyanta action tandira. The kind of actions I want him to show us walong kabal the political rally ko ni ko momo ikay ko ite min tole managing director ni fengo ako mu independent le tirek ali to sa fangal ne opposition la moiti be baylale kabra wo fo ay mi non ko opposition man na do ko kala man sakunda. That is segregation.
Completely.
Civil servants or discrimination. Civil servants or manyana align with any political party. Fengo GO Gambia General Orders le wolefo. So kabrin president o wofo, number one already I started kamole threaten in my belief. Until he walked back on those statements, I don't believe the dialogue will be meaningful. And I also said unless president has stopped party leaders or attack wolfane joala, there will be no meaningful dialogue. But more let's try and go. And I said, okay, more dialogue okay. Kabin dialogue okay. Iko president ko the first time, and I said to people, you know what, this was a show up. I said international community, Gambia is meeting with all the requirements. That was it. That's what I believe, and I have a right to my belief. That's what I believe. But netalo kita lungwina 3 days that weekend, and this was for the independence. That weekend, atoliala fundraising ke. This was a fundraising. Me Alongo, he was advertised everywhere. You know, he's my brother and friend.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of stuff on him. I follow him a lot. I saw it there. It was not a political gathering from Alcal media invited.
Yeah.
But this was a fundraising. And then we started getting information you guys were tear gassed. And I'm thinking, I even wrote it, and then at some point I deleted it. I'm like, I don't like to comment on political issues. But again, yesterday we just did a national dialogue, and political actors are having an event. Instead of going to talk to them, you are sending them tear gas. What does that say about the national dialogue we're talking about?
Yes, thank you very much, Fatou. For Kumaita Bakir. You know, in issues for national dialogue, it's a good move. Moteo Balano, Manke, candidate. I personally was invited. You know, Mojamale and call Kabe TV. Honorable, Ila Sira will be empty. Monaketa.
I follow.
So, and then I made an Ewalenko. I talked to the protocol. Not to align. We have a structure. The protocol officer at State House, Chief Protocol Alaji, I fire call. Because I was also at the provinces. I may not go as a parliamentarian until we have a structure. And the leader is Yaya Tamba. Na invitation on you. It's a falling no. Yake Yaya Tamba Lotola. Then there's a diala. I can contribute. Because that day, this issue of dialogue, IDA, okay,
yeah, the constitutional issues, yeah.
So Kabiru Mama okay in the morning, so I no balabe late then I cannot go. Because what I sense to understand, you know, in as much as you have a structure and the leader BJ.
Yeah.
Need to how you do it tatale. Some they can say that Abe Palace in
yeah.
while Abe Fight and all.
Yeah.
And in which I respect the leadership. And in which that leadership that carve us to become a unified movement in which we won. And again in the Gambia, that leadership had groomed the NATO Alliance. Today, we are taught in political participation. We're not political parties.
Are you saying your party, your movement was not invited as a movement?
No, they were not. They invited me.
As an individual.
As an individual. I wanted to correct them. In order for us to go the way it's supposed to be, I am not to be invited, but carry them.
Okay.
Before I consult. So in that consultation, it was early morning they're supposed to go. So I left like that. That's why I didn't go. Because I want to clear to people to understand. Because the reason why I didn't go is because we have a structure.
Okay.
And in which I respect the structure. So you know, on the 18th, we went and attended it because the Foni MPs in Kenya. Any issues is of interest.
Yeah.
We don't dodge away.
Yeah.
You don't dodge it. That's an example even that presidential bill. Either we sit and critique it, but we will not leave National Assembly.
Yeah.
It's a joke.
Yeah.
It is just like so you are trained to fight.
Yeah.
So Kabiru Waketa, they had engagement in their constituencies. Bakari, Baji, Skoli, and Sane. So then Honorable Sane Tumani. That the endeavor I was even from Foni. Hey, Honorable Wakili and I independent. We went to the independent. It's a national thing. Because the essence of the independent is still lacking in the Gambia.
Yeah.
When still State House is controlled by Senegalese. The presidential guard is still controlled by Senegalese. Borders is controlled by Senegalese. Our internal fishing area, whatever, is all controlled by Senegalese. So you realize that you see an aspect. But we said we are going to the D-Day in order for us to remember. And we also be seen that this is independent. No matter what challenges that are there.
We will go.
So Kabin Tada, after the independence, Tada no Suokono. Honorable Sane, for that day, it was a funny game. You know, I'm just seeing that for Lama of Nadna, you know, Fenkoyem, Mana Willie Juna, Maja and Dan. You know, to that effect, I want to clear this. Umar Kwali, Melango Abe Abuko, he's the guy who wrote the permit.
Okay.
Around January 2nd, a permit was Safi.
He applied.
He applied the permit.
Okay.
So I apply a Soto. That the date of on the 18th of February. But as we do fundraising. We do normally conduct fundraising, not to alliance.
Yes.
This is not the first time, not the second time. This could be the third time.
If you know,
Last year,
independently.
we did it there independently. Every independent in Kakele. Alaji Dabo asked him of UDP, he was invited. Suleiman Jame of Bunduka Kunda, different political parties. Don't more long, we invite you.
Yeah.
It's about fundraising. We raise funds towards what we want to carry out.
Yeah.
And Bensuda also.
No, Bensuda also was invited last year. So on more better in NPP, whatever, we invite all our MPs, our friends.
Yeah.
You understand? So then we went home. Then that following day, Melango foundation Jandakake. It had a footballer after around 3 months. To money in from whenever. A more command the police station about issues of permit because security force EP8 Nata at the Talending Center. Can you incarcero? For Ali permit also can you call Quebec? Yes, but the permit holder is Sangola Soto. That is Umar Ala deputy, Ibu Sambu, Ala Farmer Banda, Bakari Sambuya. So he went and attended the burial. In that burial, he command, he had to leave. So in his way coming, they were communicating with authorities in Bunduka Kunda. Fonzi permit was sent electronically, in which he did. Then Kabira Nata, in that discussion, whatever is done, they were there, people were there. They agreed, Musuningo, gas. The chief operation agrees. Because definitely yara fang nyem pamito nte fangole ya issue. Yeah. Amandanje nte fangole ya sign. Amandanje nte fangole ya stamp. And wo call to de na stamp mbukatu na officer de jang. Nembitani na stamp kasele.
Because malavi moka misuse.
Because malavi moya misuse sama kaya ke issue le melanko ibina ye kuse ke melanko manya nakake. He agrees. And he was communicating. We expect that he was communicating. We assume
she was communicating.
She was communicating to IGP. In which he is here could be a witness. They resolve. Alta alala fialke. Joke wise, Nyan different binangamabe batia dongola. They left. Too many went to Brikama to watch the football game. So coming to Oketa, around 5, 6, 7 months, court started to emanate again. Forces. Chemical alignment in the Gambia that are ready to distort the peace and tranquility of this country. What do you mean chemical alignment? Saddam Hussein Naboyo. Yeah. We have them here. We have them here. That doesn't want peace. Yeah. Because if you disrupt peace, you are part of chemical ally. Because that's what they say, chemical ally can call for years, whatever. We have them here in the country. So honorable, I receive a lot of calls. So me, Fanan, based part of defense and security, I had to call. A minister call, I call interior minister. Ndebe cross Senegal. Can you call national security advisor? I engage. Okay, I'll engage the IG. I call defense. Just collaborate. I don't call. Expenses has been done. And there's nothing that is background against this. Lafta mena wale nko. Ala bula kwe tama. You understand? So in that discussion, mbijede, not na fem moy kotonke. Fat around 8. Moy ko honorable ibe multi gas kanen. Nga tear gas, but what time different people kata bundu. So coming for them go honorable to Manisane. Can you go to the center? You are a honorable member. Go to the center. Namul men BJ. They are waiting for a discourse. Emanating here Ndolbedamana Bundum police station. Namen sort of will inform you, and you inform the people put a hold on. So I tell what I've not had. So to come into Manabije, it was coming people. More kind of generic, more kind of generic, more kind of fen through, more kind of fen. So just only for him, Kabida Nata, Akweko Paral, they receive an order from top where they should come and disperse this fundraiser. Akweko Hanede Bare, Mbal Danila Kukilinda. Na other group, they are at Bundunga Kunda police station. They are discussing with the chief operation, gas, who gave us a permit. And before, dole nara janga for atafana ko nga continue. So man, what is the sudden change? So Gabriel no, we are not going. I'll go to Bal Sabari. So to man tada jaka ka molu, I'll member sini Al Sabari. I'll kana femfa because I can tell Loli Bijele Berolo is inside. But Tumane stood in front of all those people. More a tankum, it can't makanke. If it doesn't matter. So even if will you throw gas in IGP as you want to attempt? You go no. I am also a honorable member. And I need to be respected. And I also, if it is the minister, will you do that? This is a question. So a parent go, you people, what is your problem? What vendor? Who is that order that is far more higher than me? Even if President Barrow, he will listen to me. I am saying, calm down. A discussion is on a center stage in Bundo to see how we can solve this problem. What I want the media to take this, Fitina Manke, Moman Nendrike, Moman Liparike, Moman Femfeng attack, the paramilitary Nata.
In the place?
In Nata, go at the second of, so at the count of 10 seconds.
10 seconds, yeah.
Yeah, Fengo Mama, the Tumani go, Alinim Bula. He was shouting, Alinim Bula, let peace reign. A honorable member in front of the paramilitaries. Ya bunti ya gasola, ya bun second time, ya bun third time. So I am here to die. Take your weapon. Just shoot from afar. Because I know this is dishonor and this is a disrespect to the last order. So Kabila Mama, it's set aside. Do you know that has cost VDC of Talinde?
The World Development Committee.
Ila officer
of Talinde.
The palatary were Tinya.
Yes.
Yara fan dolmera kon ngamira kon dolla mol damma. Yara fan some of them are also wounded and taken to the hospital. It will be seen officer to. In order because be jang itelem jang Kerr Fatou. Nindon nara jang ite be sila mol be sin pour ñu mol membe jubero la jang. So nindon nara you know yetelipa anani juber lal. You will be lipa nyola. As if you know the place has no control. So Kabiro Keta we went to the station. Kabirim Futata we discussed. That's Konyako, another Munekeda, even we are going to go to court.
Yeah.
I am ready to attest that issue. And we are here on negotiation. We have agreed the green light was given. What must have went wrong? That's why in my interview in Coffee Time, I'm really shocked and I can tell this for free.
Yeah.
There is leadership crisis in KMC in terms of security forces. And I can say why. Yeah. Gas is the chief operation in Bunduka Kunda that controls Abuko and the Talending end. If a lady had her task force, I paralyze an intolier, or paral Magulia ni Masibogede. Melia will bot now, I will come to that. Kabila my men are here. Alcanata Dulato. I will solve this problem. This is not a problem. I have agreed, I have spared the authority, but what went wrong? She was only to be called that Fatou Toure, you know, your AOR, area of responsibility is in fire. The lady was shocked and dumbfounded. It was a PIU headed by Babu Jeng of PIU.
The same Babu Jeng.
Babu Jeng and PIU.
The same Babu Jeng. We all know him.
You understand?
Yeah.
So Babu Jeng is the one that led the team unknowingly to come straight without even respecting that woman, controlling the territory, the area. And he did his operation successfully by winning and traumatizing people. Musoli ke lipa ila juba mafana. Don't be la bulolu, don't be their bag. They have a lot of serious pains.
And not only that, the community around that.
Understand?
I know a family member, Minya Kulia Soto, no?
Yeah.
One of the lady Asma Lesotho, because a friend of mine went to
They have to disperse
so
from
I call
place.
this pastor Okulila, Muso Samal Lopitano, because I Asma attack Lesotho, because from
Yeah, from the tear gas.
So
And
Kabilo Ketafana,
Yeah.
Kabin in Kuoke, Babu led a team on that. So Timo led Kola, Foday will also come on the other side.
Yeah.
Now, Tumani was trying to calm them down. For a Tumani from bonding, you know, you see how disrespectful these police or PIUs are? And now I can tell you for free, at Diata, Kuyata, follow the procedures of parliament. The Foni MPs, advocate, we are also part of most advocates in terms of security in this parliament.
Yeah.
In a sort of world, in a cool door, we will stand and fight for their right.
Yeah.
We will sing on issues of security. Now, the same unit, New Paralaka and National Assembly brutalized. Next could be killing or shooting a National Assembly member. When you see IG, Ikasaludle, ni IG Koteng, whatever. Now they went into the village. You see how extreme the paras went they did. They will not narrate the stories. They went extreme. Amikwali was also standing in one Johnson, honorable Amikwali.
Yeah.
Adefana was videoing. Adefana hajebe manya menkeka because Amifana nada wa lando, but ate mabota. Alamoto mabo, he was observing. Go, let's all be at a watch.
Yeah.
So they went into compounds. More men jumped out the compound. It can tear gas of fire compound. I can tell you for
after dispersing people,
after dispersing, they now will follow them.
Yeah.
So until tomorrow, more kind of fire and low man 5 So now, boys and member vicinity, we will rise up. We cannot accept this. So it only they wanted to at least fight the paramilitary, but in which the harmony in Kol not calm down.
Yeah.
If it was not Honorable Tumani Sane, we will not talk what we are talking today.
Yeah, because people will relate.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So coming to the foot of that, letting Ajeko, there is betrayal within the security in KMC. If a lady could be able to discuss with these people,
Dialogue with
the organizers,
Yeah.
and arrange very well, talking to somebody, maybe IG, I assume, you could arrange altar alala fealke. Until less than 2 hours, they came and humiliated the lady in charge without that lady using his own force. In an area, man, is peaceful. Because I remember for how we use APRC logo, APRC banal, we went with the lady to that ground. Bulame and sign, Kabir Fitinoke, Molbe Bay, Parallel BJ side. Sabali, can you check this design? Do you see any piece of logo? Ako honey. Do you see any? So we have pictures that will show that Fem Man Soto in that particular regard. So we plead with them, the paramilitaries, that Motol Aisal Motol Membiani some of the materials. The others, they deny them not to take their materials. Listen to this, the father. So Kabiri Elaje, it means they are the one controlling all properties within that particular area. Guess what? The last security.
Yeah.
Ila fengol, ila bagol, ya tinya. Kodol fanye, ila kodol taje. Others they even lose their mobile phone in an area where it's manned by the PIU that night. The following night, just to come and check your bag, ila kodol mantarage. When they came surprising whim into an area and they forced people to go out forcefully. So we are alleging the police. And the other thing that we also want to notify, and is also reported to Bundum police station, because we have some influence between other people. Don't be, how do you expect if he's not collaborating with the police? In 10 minutes, paramilitaries are coming. In 20 minutes, paramilitaries are coming. In 10 minutes, paramilitaries are coming. In 5 minutes, paramilitaries are coming. They are calling Batiai. Amanda in 2 minutes.
An individual calling them. Who is not personnel and it's not part of us.
But they are using threats. And now, the police have sought the score. What bina? This fortress is not going to hold. But make sure that among hold. And that's what we've seen. But sign, upon our surprise, we met. Party came. Who is the divisional head?
Yeah, Party
Jallo.
Yeah.
Party Jallo explaining. But he was just speaking out of the blues.
Yeah.
Because I remember this lady is a strong lady. And I respect her firsthand.
Yeah.
And she's a professional lady.
Yeah.
If the lady could be able to do this, I said, pardon, who must have been the command who instructed this PIU? And then the commandant of PIU, I told him, that they attend a program.
Amantaraji.
Amantaraji.
Who gave the command?
So, sign, these people came with Babu. And that Babu Jeng, he is the tool now that they are using to terrorize people. I can say it free. And he hears loud and clear. Because this was not the first that they named of his group.
Yeah.
His
name is
And when we went with Sonna,
now we have Chemical Ali.
You see? So now, the other factor that I was shocked. And in defense security, I will say to the commands that they need to respect women.
Yeah.
And they need to respect, the leadership. Because a promising rank, father.
Yeah.
And he was the one leading. He was the one leading. Yeah. Chief operation like Sabali Benyame.
Yeah.
At a position Benyame. Why not? That promission doesn't want to respect the lady.
I want respect.
I was shocked. You think this, you have a promission rank. This is not a rank, this is a promission rank. If I was the IGP today, I'll even stab this out. You're indisciplined. In fact, this lady is here to calm the situation down. The way you are talking and the manners is disrespectful.
But the thing is, the question you guys should be asking, who sent Babu Jeng? Babu Jeng will not just load his men and go to PIU.
That's what we are asking.
Knowing that gas permitting issue, gas came earlier to you guys. Gas is a very respected police officer.
No,
yeah, remember the Bob Keta time and Bekita. She was the one in charge.
I can't believe
the fact that she came to you guys and had a conversation and any agreement sort of. Who gave Babu Jeng the orders? That is the question, you guys. Have you guys met the IGP?
No,
the box stops at the IGP. Yeah. That's the fact.
No, that's what we are saying.
IGP.
That's what we are saying now. We've concluded that all these issues is going to reign on the head of IGP.
Yeah.
Because he's a custodian.
He's the custodian.
Because we believe also, I can tell you the simple fact, I'm for party. Mr. Jela.
Yeah.
Kabira Nata, we are discussing on conditionalities of issues may happen. We are not leaving this Bundunga Kundan any minute. If all those people who are arrested and sent to Denti Bridge in Mebula, we will determine our fate in this police station here. One to another. I'm speaking to IGP, party level. But tell IGP, I've been calling him. But I'm fire. We are not leaving this ground. We want all our men and women who are arrested, wherever they are here,
to be released.
No, I'm not going to release them. Let them come here and they really don't nyala. From there, we'll leave this police. No, IGP, party. Please tell IGP. In which they honor. But I think he had to leave.
He disappeared.
But the lady sat with us up to 5 a.m.
After 5 a.m.
Oh.
Very happily. We went on 9 people.
I want to talk on this.
Let me tell you one thing. We met the police.
Yeah.
I told them, because we had some unfortunate people sharing audio score, her gas from UDP, gas and UDP support. I told the police, one command of police, gas dismiss, alia transfer. You people are not doing your work. And I'm ready to take this anywhere. Because why? More pointless on issues that she is not of.
But me gas
was very comfortable. Hey. I was so come on Cindy, I mold came down.
Honorable, you don't want
the answers to your questions.
But in more professional to draw more oppositional.
Honey, UDP.
Okay.
Honey, UDP, the uniform, they are now, alleging controlling UDP, Kana Manila, and
this is what I wanted to come to. When this happened, more social media and told a lot of people, including me, condemned it. Because this is Independence Day, number one. Number two, a permit, you just confirmed, was issued. Number three, when we spoke to the PRO, actually, a permit will violate. The conditions of the permit were violated. Now, when this happened, UDP issued a statement to SECO. The police should apologize to the organizers because people were merely celebrating. In this new Gambia, we should not and they digress.
We met the police. We told the section of the Constitution says,
in
the Act, you don't need a permit for a
fundraising.
They agreed.
Especially if it is in a
Even Mali Jamaat said that.
In a confined.
Mali, you don't even, in the first place, you guys don't need a permit.
Exactly.
But I'll tell you why Omar.
And now, sorry, before that, let me come. The other issue that we want to clarify.
Yeah.
You know, we have notions. People who are saying that permit on your forgery. I can tell you for free.
Yeah.
Police will print there.
Yeah.
A pack.
Yeah.
So 2023 la printing the mode. Neither a cat na ya
Because no jele kali
You understand?
Yeah.
So we want to clear the air. If the issuance code is correct.
Yeah.
IG at the police level confirm that it's correct.
Yeah.
And everything is correct. We want to make sure that police they don't have electronic. They don't have a soft copy that they change and print.
No.
It only have bulk malisoto. Even sometimes you got 2023, they just scratch.
Yes,
but that one we want to qualify to make sure that whatever is issued,
the issue
of a permit.
The permit was issued by Gas, who is the operations commander, and she came early to negotiate.
And the attack against unarmed protest was done by a different unit in Kanifing.
Which was led by Gas.
Which was led by without the confirmation of Gas. Who is the AR area controller? You see?
No, probably if you say confirmation, she was not even informed. She was not aware. She was just told that your area of responsibility or area of control or command is on fire. And she said what? Let them follow.
Yeah.
One national dialogue. For any reason I didn't do so what is the theme of the dialogue? Because Maji Blato.
Yeah.
But Maji. But none of my speeches can I follow it on social media. But not a headline of Minjolum. Barrow said people's criticism should be genuine.
Yeah.
So that was the only reason why he called for that. Because people are criticizing him and he felt that's not the But more than understand,
yeah.
Barrow ko atemang among Mansayano, I Timor But Niminko Barrow Manyame, Kefang Nene. Barrow is using this to sell himself out. For the first time in the history of the Gambia, he has called the opposition to come. Killing Fulanjango, Ibotaji Watomina, Natrate Akele Puru, in order to have peace and stability. Purumbenga Dogoke. Allow recording ardently because his government done something. It only mean claim was been done here.
Independence Day. Independence Day. Yeah.
And independent accurate damning, there was not even a single gunfire. Kabribe independent acquired.
Yeah.
So on an independent day, not the citizens who are not, even if they are foreign.
Harmless.
Nothing. It will attack. Left a dollar Fabakare Minfo ala.
I want to read that to you because the reason why it's important.
Before I read that, I also want to clear this so that it will also be very important in terms of security.
Yeah.
Tear gas are tools that are used to disperse dangerous events that are uncontrollable.
Yeah.
Now, in tear gassing, you could see the lack of professionalism of police, the PI.
Yeah.
It's on the kind of tear gas, you have to fire to Fatou. Tear gas, you spray.
Yeah.
But now, our PIUs, led by Jen, they fire to people straight.
Yes.
So it means now,
even towards me,
you are going to complicate. You don't know the health hazards of this chemical.
People have asthma. People have.
So now, you're doing this, you have now distorted her life in the future. If he's supposed to live for 10 years, maybe he may end up even 5 years or 8 years. It's because of you.
But I'm not interrupting, but one thing. If the president is saying, need tear gas, that's it, continue. Ni president of Foko, Kabring Yalo need tear gas. I can tear gas, I'm not Senegalese, Gambian. Kabring tear gas. Now, there will be tear gas. But left me and left na Kabring in day for them. Left Murna Kabring a dialogue. I want to come down to your comment for Janko. They label you as UDP or Kekumadiwal. As far as I'm concerned,
I don't care.
Nobody should care about that.
I don't care.
For knowledge in journalism, it's not wide.
I don't even care.
I live in a country where they are very liberal. Tabloid newspapers will jelly. Election Kanasa. We have decided to choose Labour or endorse this. More important to journalism to follow the ethics of journalism. Independent, impartiality, and neutrality. Professionalism. And also whether people like it or not, I'll come to invite journalism, invite you get the balance and go on. But what a baila. But he left a Kumakilin Folaric, Gambians. this message B modol ben la moy nala ibamiral kon kafole mantra kafo gas kam ntol tata le sita gas ko
yeah it's very
kabringa dia la gas ya rid a jube a diam tamiye ama foni tubab kam ako he ni pamito sotola de I'm quoting her ko afonyame ako andu nte fawole ngani sign na stampolo nga stamp
wow
ala honesty at demanding about nga judge but me at nambala fatay she was put at a corner whereby a bit decision or tal but this woman ajeleko there is a conflict here and the only solution to a conflict is dialogue she has never at any point even sweat at Oscoka Kampa. Ndola mo ko fa ni diam
crime to the last.
I crime when you manage to the last
up to 5 a.m. in the morning.
Kabrin si jawto ntata. Yan kuma nan kota nata ko my brother. Akere akunta akere. I said, guys, we understand badly. The situation, we understand it. But janna to the diamo bana dunay nata call ko be multi gas kan. And I'm commanding them pour discourse. You have to gas the Malibu. But in coming way, wala na ninka pumba emphasize la nimande ka kon la molia moy. Nkani audio le moy gas from UDP leti. O mam boru UDP la konato and mam bontoria. It's either coming from the APRC or NPP or whatever. I don't know who is antemo alleged no. But ni gas mo UDP and akala doka professionally. What got that got to do with Atela party affiliation? This woman very professional.
I'll be advocate for her. Are you guys worried Kobe about victimized?
No, we are here.
I'm worried.
Being part of defense and security. I'm worried. And even it was issues or to set words in parliament. Because I'm a fado. You take a lot of more mail and your honesty job. The one thing I tell the gangs of PIUs emanated from PIU in Carnivin came for a purpose and they were instructed with a command.
Yeah, to do exactly
so if,
that.
For example, I respect you. Ila palaso in Nata, I should comport God send people force at 5, 3, negotiation. Agree ko no have continue la program. Just by 7, 8, you hear that your area is in fire with a different unit. And that unit now, Jen is becoming a brutal person in PIU. So I'm just instructing the Gambia Police Force, go, let them be very careful. IGP, let him take a strong stand. And again also, I can tell you for free, my little studies in that case, I realized that there are command failure.
Within the police force.
They are trying to discriminate each other within the KMC belt.
Yeah.
Either who is the commandant of PIU or the head of KMC. There are problems.
They are not pairing. They are not sharing.
They are not coming and tell people. But I can say this, go. Let the police go and put their house in order in KMC. In order for us to get good. And secondly
in
also,
the entire country.
So and secondly also, I'm also putting this to IGP.
Yeah.
That let him come and apologize to the whole world of this act. And again, more so, a National Assembly member who was there to maintain peace. And now, in our oversight, we can do extra oversight funds in which Tumani has did that oversight to make sure that stood in front of the crowd and tell them that more kind of fire, more kind of nendirike, ali lamoy. Just only to be tear gas.
Yeah.
And now a lot of people are happy about this.
No.
If it is a political, if it is a political issue.
Do you think this is politically motivated?
Of course it is. Full time.
Who would you think would?
No. I'm not even seeing the court.
Because let me see what the reason why I asked that question.
Headline today.
Let me tell you the reason why
the Speaker of the National Assembly.
The Speaker of the National Assembly, when UDP issued a statement to say the police should apologize
of the National
because
Assembly.
this is a fundraising event and a national event, Independence Day, and the permit was issued. Why should the police tear gas any civilian who was holding, like a fundraising event? They said the police should apologize to you guys, and then we saw very strong worded statements from the Speaker of the National Assembly and the Deputy Speaker. And I said to myself, and I told Sidi Njai this, I sent him an audio. I said, Sidi, I'm going to be talking about your statement. Before somebody tells you, Sidi, Fatou Refladon Hasumala, but I'm going to discuss your statement. Yeah. If you stood there on behalf of NPP and said you're advocating for national dialogue, in this democratic country, you are claiming that we have democracy in this country. If a party issued a statement about a position, why should you go personal insulting people? We all consider them as elderly statespeople in this country. That is wrong, and it's beneath the office of the deputy speaker. And I think Sidi Njai, look, Sidi is my brother and friend, but I have never seen Sidi Njai go personal on people. And I tell people, I was telling somebody, you know, people should emulate Sidi Njai's position. Sidi Njai do turn to do haste. But I was disappointed with his statement. You cannot go personal on people. I cannot, this man is my father's mate. You know, when he sits here, I call him Uncle Foday.
Yeah, definitely,
Not because maybe not Uncle directly, but in Beuta Lamena, Famanu Master, and I'm pharmacy, I believe to the master.
Yeah, I tell Charlie, but I could school and development.
So I consider him as an uncle. That's how we're all raised.
Yes.
So I think when people address politics, so what is the essence of this national dialogue? Number one, you tear gas people.
It's a joke.
Number two, you insult other political leaders just because they issued an opinion. They had a voice to say, let's apologize to these people. Even though yesterday they were not in good terms with those people. But they have been for the past 22 years saying, this is unjust. Just because, and I saw people saying, oh, jame kamolti agaste no biato manya no complain. But I'll call Latinale jame bondi.
No, what is wrong?
No, I'll call Latinale jame bondi.
Exactly.
Never call mama B, ni jame tijam modole bijamuna na sona wala. So Sidi Njai, you are wrong. Those statement was extreme. And I saw Fabakari saying this. Fabakari was responding to UDP. Why did the UDP fail to acknowledge the fact that the so-called splinter group of the APRC, also known as No to Alliance Movement, deceived the Gambia Police Force in their application to organize a political gathering under the disguise of a civilian raising activity at the fundraising? Evidently, the Gambia Police Force authorized the gathering. Organize a fundraising, occasion. This so-called No to Alliance Movement intended to use a political gathering illegally leverage the name of the symbols of the party registered with the Independent Electoral Commission, despite strict warnings from the IEC to use the APRC name, logo, and symbols campaign material at the front. So this is only confirming to us that Fabakari knows something about what happened.
Beforehand.
Let me come here. I am so.
And you can be right to say this was politically motivated.
No, I am shocked and dumbfounded that Fabakari will go on to this issue. Because what I thought was he was just going to be in loggerhead with UDP in the statement that they have said. Because for me personally, I've seen the press release of UDP, in which one part I agree, the other part, based on what they said about Jammeh, I told some of my parliamentarians that if they say Jammeh is bad, UDP could not have even in their presser included portion. It could be history. But now if Fabakari is confirming this, Fabakari means he's been misled. Because one, there are no proofs that says that we are organizing a political rally or a political or using whatever. Now I can just attest this. Omar Kole, the applicant, was a candidate for parliamentary election. He stood with the Ayman Tanzania. He lost about 2,000 to 3,000 plus votes. Ayman Soto. Secondly, he stood onto our No to Alliance, in which he was funded equally as they fund other candidates onto No to Alliance. So what he did was, in his write-up letter, I think I'll share the letter with you, either you publish it. At the beginning, at the bottom of the letter, he initiated the independent whatever, saying not what he as an independent candidate, whatever. He copied his campaign in the letter that he applied to the police. Listen. If Fabakari is just been ignorant, Fabakari is not informed.
But how does Fabakari even know that?
No,
how does he know that?
So if, for example, he didn't even do his homework properly, he's just been carried to come and speak to the media.
Because he has no time for
disappointed. Because when I say so, he could have first read the letter of the applicant. And in the letter of the applicant, he wrote as an independent, seeking for fundraising. In that, he copied to his campaign manager of Abuko Latikunda Sabiji constituency.
Yeah.
He copied to the ward secretary, Abuko, and he copied to the campaign manager.
Yeah.
And
Do you understand? And now, when he did that, he also wrote an invitation to us, the 5 National Assembly members of Foni.
Yeah.
And he wrote to the diaspora, Foday and his group. He wrote to the Non-Alliance Movement executive. And he wrote to all local government elections councillors who lose onto our name in various constituencies in KMC, both parliamentary and local government elections.
Yeah.
So these are the people that were invited. And secondly, he also wrote to invite even his parliamentary, that is Yaya Mentensanya.
Yeah.
And others from NPP, Suleiman Jame and others, we all wrote that come and attend our fundraiser. And for to declare this, last year was the same venue, the same place, and in the same people.
No,
better ambience, not even about politics. Why is it special at this crucial moment for them to turn? And what I can also clear this out, I want to educate the people who are denying facts.
Yeah.
That either they like it or not, Not to Alliance is a formidable group.
Yeah.
And I'll send you the design of that venue. If color, party colors and whatever we are used.
I was going to say, did you use APRC color material?
It was
That's
white.
what Fabakar is claiming.
It was white all over. And we saw something in social media. They wrote one name, Karamo Damfa being the father of the party, that this is Karamo Damfa with the APRC Jammeh logo, whatever. That's not wearing the Jammeh Asobi, saying that is Karamo. And that's not, Karamo didn't even attend. We told him that there are cohorts going on, stay at home. He called me around 12 a.m. in which I told him that don't come here. You don't need to come. So secondly also, if it was politically, if it was a political thing, we could have seen something different. And now, in fact, a permit is issued. And it's not about maybe politics. So I think Fabakar should withdraw this, make his proper assignment to be informed properly of the whole issue.
They are just exposing the police.
Do you understand?
The reason why I say they're exposing the police,
Exactly.
if you apply a permit,
because you know what happened?
Yeah.
When I was talking to the forces, the heads within the security apparatus, then I am now clear. I am vindicated. That
you're vindicated. That is a politically motivated.
There is a force going on.
Because the reason why
I was telling them, can we come into agreement?
Yeah.
You know us. You know the Foni MPs. You know the people. You know the. I asked when I went to the police. I asked them this: have you ever, in once, see any warfare between the two camps, Fabakari and us? They said no.
Never.
Have you ever seen no to alliance in the political career with parliamentary elections campaign? Have you ever seen any problem with it? No. In local government, have you ever seen? No. In chairpersons, we were in KMC with Pamodu. Have you ever heard any fracas? They said no. I said, now, the fracas will come in the middle of a fundraiser where some of us were invited to come and attend. And secondly also, even whatever they are insinuating, it is a wrong concept that they are putting to themselves. And the other thing also, there are people, we could see that, there are people coming around investigating. So it means they were in talking terms with the police. They use vulnerable police officers like Babujan. Babujan is very vulnerable. Today, let me tell you this, Fatou. Look at Faraba Banda incident. Yeah. Where is that officer? Where are those officers?
They're still serving.
They kill people in cold blood. So if Babujan will be used as a toy to go and now hit people, police, lives and properties, you go extra mile. It just should be a notion. If I was the commandant of that unit, I'll make sure, guys, we are coming to the area, but we are giving this instruction. What do you think? They are the people saying that don't accept unlawful orders. And they were happy in hitting women. So would they talk and say women's right here?
No. I wanted to say something. For example, when I read Fabakari's statement, when I see Fabakari's statement, he's saying that they misled the police to issuing them a statement to an individual.
They dishonestly said.
So, but for me, I'm saying this. You are exposing the police further. Because for example, I have seen where people apply for permit. When you apply for permit, for any organization, they invite you to have a conversation with you. During that consultation, they ask, what is this permit for, what you're doing and what you're not doing. Are you telling me that the police did not do their job properly to be able to ascertain that this is a political gathering, that we should or should not issue a permit? The fact that the police issued a state a license, the blame goes to them. Whatever happens to them is them.
Let me help you this for you to clear this Fabakari's message.
Yeah.
Maybe may Allah help him to understand some of these critical issues that he's not informed of.
Yeah.
Honorable Tumane Sane.
Yeah.
Where in the first discussion that the guy said you can continue activities.
I was sitting.
Listen, and he's also there. What Tumane said that Commander, we are also getting audios there. This is directly from Tumane. We are getting audios. We are getting reports that swing program, dollar program what itala, even a program what tinyalale. What God said, don't listen. Your issue, you're given the free will, go and continue your program.
Exactly.
One, maintain peace. Alkana issue use me along sama be fit no sambalana.
Yeah.
So what you 100%? Mbaba mandila but I go aton fana na you have your securities. Alala security in Blal Fenke. Now that the worst come to the worst, you can alert us. I can even come and stroll around to see Dulani Benyadile to ascertain peace is in that area.
Can they advise what they should do in case something happens?
Exactly.
Because
So now,
really professional.
Ni mo inye for police of Wale Marta wa Blando. He have Habaka partly is not informed. Now are you telling us police of man letter he has copied to his campaign manager? He has spelled out as an independent who stood for both elections. Omada letter are specified wala.
Yeah.
And now he said this. And again he has made it clear it's not about Foni. Do you know what happened, Fatou, that I want to clear the problem, I understand?
Yeah.
They've seen the success of the program. And they know all and sundry.
Yeah.
Most of Northern Alliance are ready to show their presence at this fundraising in order for them to contribute to make their ends meet. This is why they use the vulnerable police officers like Babuji and his group.
And that will
attack.
Yeah, that will.
Do you think they're scared to see your forces?
Exactly.
Because
that's a different
it brings the question to who is. It will bring the question again.
Yeah.
Is that?
Sorry, because maybe I want to clear it out.
No.
Do you know what I can tell you this?
Yeah.
They had their youth gala. Youth gala. Listen to me very
well. Youth gala.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Ila youth soul. When they had their youth gala, listen to this. We are not in enemy with anybody.
Yeah.
You know, their youth leader, Sonko, came and meet me in Parliament. They meet us. In the week, I don't know how honorable. Ilamande, until baby cooking. Akamuta ko mamben kanna. For the banyune. Itebe jara soma bare fo de me banya ni me jara soma ndol be bakilin nganyina soto de and we want your presence later on ya din tola ask them whether you man happen kabira aketa that day for and I had a fundraising in my constituency in Foni Kansala that is in Kanila so ndo nganyo tom manen ko honorable Sane Padembo Sane honorable Tumane Sane we cannot miss these people's la fenko ila
fundraising
ila gala.
Okay.
Can you people go on our behalf? I mean, for an issue, Bagari for an issue, Soto.
Yeah.
So ask them this.
Oh.
Whether woman can not have fitting all them. Because no.
So, and we find out for until my find out from point to permits to play master.
Exactly. We don't even find out whether permit BJ for permit.
In addition to that, NPP Diaspora, the fundraising kejane, ila team munine reko bagwe for purke support. NPP Diaspora, they gave us an invitation. Tabulon is $50,000. They gave the letter to Jerendi. Jerendi is someone in the national executive. We wish it's a attend no because we honor it. But it couldn't be. We told the whole civil honor the name along a fundraising. NPP lane to Sapola. Fabakari is not even aware. On that night, the majority leader was with us at the police station
Very well.
to sympathize with us in tear gas main control. UDP 2 MPs were there to sympathize with us. Suleiman was there to keep the peace. Suleiman Sana.
That is the spirit of Gambia.
Omar Jato of
Janambure. Independent was there.
That is the spirit.
3 o'clock.
That is the spirit of Gambia.
If we are here in this news,
That's why when you see this statement, it's upsetting.
I think statement
Especially I told you Benjamin no. And I think that's why I'm disappointed.
So now I could see.
Next topic.
Yeah.
You never understand a Gambian should reach such for a Gambian.
Yeah.
But
But do you think this is populist? Newspaper populist?
Standard this was on standard. Standard
I send it go. Yeah. Vindicated order pass.
Exactly.
Pass as a he uses his office. Because Kabrin Fabakar mu party leader tinu. They can tell them. But he uses his office.
But why should IGP allow that?
Yeah,
exactly.
Why should IGP allow that?
That's another.
Why should IGP allow that?
Exactly.
That is why it is important we have the constitution passed, so that when we have an IGP is vetted by the National Assembly, we can guarantee IGP the terms. Sergeants the IGP the terms. Niko IGP send you lulo. IGP te sila ko president ben bainola.
Yes.
IG yalong. There are institutions me alonko. They should be independent.
No.
Injustice man betea.
No.
You understand? And kita momola man betea. Because now we have an independent IGP. Mia Lonko is not politically maneuvered by any person. Kodi tenun bi nyinte sotor. Naya teranunko IGP la tam ko sanji lulong. A veteran National Assembly la atuli IGP ko nyimbu multi Mia Lonko tonya. IGP fana ya Lonko nyin sanji lulo de motente bainola. Ha? Ate tonya. Abalon na loko sumagana ubandan kendu madaha note ku kelana otom fanam batunga luwa na tamande bari ni IGP mo ko president ko hande mom da mafla IGP mo arrest IGP tata bora arrest ay mo fenko revoke ay do fanang arrest teni baje ko IGP fanang aka order stade la do to nda manyana tala gundom atol fanang ba claim kan ko aljikital ko politics le ba ko IGP manyana political la oto nyimu kuleti men ko our institutions should be strong. We should not just have strong men, we should have strong institutions. Nina soto injustice be talala banko kana, but until then, injustice be continue.
Because for I'm dumbfounded for the come in kwolu betenne. Because in as much as we are concerned, Yarafan in present heads of securities, heads of department, equal be kandekan. Yarafan in forces lebe duma.
Yeah, the politicians lebe duma.
You see this?
And let's just wrong. See, sometimes the sitting president or former president blame situation on si faldo la fay buka kalamta. If you ask Adama Barrow, foti ya kalamta la kabrin yun beta nyin kela. Wafule la kuma kalamta. I can attest to that. Utmole ala power use, ala positional use. Kuni yeke. And wo be Jumal legacy dentla, one of the sitting president.
Yep.
So me Ntolko, Jammeh was here and doing something wrong. And we are seeing worse thing happening now. Then 12 as a nation. Kabin changes keta in terms of the security. He will follow advocate security reform. Security reforms among receiving money from institutions in order to be able to come and have workshops and so on. For me, the first thing to do to reform a security sector is to empower them. If the security empower is to give them the knowledge. And provide them with the equipment in definitely speaking. Yeah, but until the security is for you've started it, alco. And we think maybe in the State House, up to the last door to the president, is manned by foreigners. Security loopholes, and that has happened 7 years on. Today, we have seen certain security agreements that are signed. It's affecting our citizens.
And that's what I'm coming to.
And nothing is coming to
That's what I'm coming to.
So, Silang, security reform was not meant to be, but it was just used to propaganda outside in order to get funds, or in order to be seen as they are a democratic and a government that respect rule of law and respect human rights. So, sign to government phone. We use la against each other. Kabrina a former government Botajang. A security person should not take a bad order. But it's still happening. I with other citizens because we can't mean the caring.
I can tell you for the interjection one, I was told by Honorable Tumane Sane that security officer Dole Bije, I Jamila to mention, as well as Jamila supporter, Albajila Menkele.
Yeah.
I was shocked.
The fact, it happened on that day. The only thing is my record was Latin.
No, you could have recorded him.
Yeah, my record.
I go Jamila Molo, Albala Menkele.
Yeah.
You see this? So now, coming for security reform. It's a joke. It's a joke.
It's a joke.
To the highest order.
Yeah.
Do you know why I say it's a joke? Fatou, when they came with the coalition government, you know, na brother Alaji Baro, Bukala Feka Nyimwe back. You know, but I'm back for life for fast sabaride.
Na brother Alaji Baro.
So I can't tell you for because Kupis were entertained. Kupis. Who were like Kupis. They were entertained.
What
The other people, they are Kupis. We know them in the army. Today, they have ranks. In the army, they came.
Red carpet.
Red carpet.
Invite them.
Coup d'etat.
Yeah.
Reinstated back to the army, paid all their dues. Decent officers. Parliament. Decent officer who has not even get even a single charge seat. Or you have violated one person or whatever. They are relinquished from the army. You go to altar.
Because you are German supporter.
One of my brother, Major Gibba, he's at the university. He's doing his doctorate now. You see the Alaka Kenya. And guy, he wants you to be moved from a system to a new system. And now you're growing better. The lack of Karambanyol, you may buy army. Yeah, more may Kurira Kenyim Bankunga. Ye jail. You brought them and reinstated them back to the army and give them heavy ranks. More men, they found them lightela. For the man lightela. Bunja man lightela. They removed them from the army. That time, I had to follow with Foday newspaper. Even to pay their compensation. It was a challenge for the Gambia Armed Forces. We had to be on their neck. So now, most security reform. They only bring people that they wish and promote them. And this one is happening in the army. Tell me, you will hear another promotion. Malam for you are aware or not. C-Tech, if a promotion of general will be promoted. Malam for others, they are more better and they can even do better than them. Today they have whatever. And the marriage in Senegal with this security personnel, I'm sorry as a country. We are very sorry.
I'm very concerned about that too.
It's not a joke.
Yeah. Coming to the Kasamas, the Foni issue. Ngaminje for the past 7 years. Ngaminje, as Gambians, a lot of us are concerned because no problem with Foni, a problem with Lamen. No problem with Foni, a problem with Mandina, Lamen, because being a body was sort of Foni. I mean, one of my grandmothers, Mama Manyo, is from Foni, and this is why I'm very passionate about this incident. Because the incident, families come from jail
to come to the campus.
They have to come to their families. They have to move. And I mean, you guys have advocated for it, where you know, hot pursuit agreement me along Kabekeri, Molka. Soldier Kabonam for Senegal, Ekana Mol Ekamodol Fafoni, and then they think Muta Samba. And my biggest problem with that, I don't see any statement coming from our government regarding this. Number one, I think that is wrong.
The national dialogue should have even
recently, Kununko, right? I think last week I saw this. It got to a point, can you verify this before we put it? At some point, as a media firm, because you just don't want to make people panic. Now, as a National Assembly, I know you have advocated. You guys went to the point of meeting the president to discuss this. How far have you gone on that? And Munad Nahani saying a must stop no already.
It's deliberate.
But yeah, I think
it's deliberate. The government is ready to take their responsibility. You know, if you are a bag, a carried bag to somebody, you have your.
What do you mean carried bag?
You know, more kete ila football chika. Coming as a foyer ko fatu banjun jube fatu kana banjun jube ite banjun jube la. This is what you're facing because President Barrow maki aje ko atela install. So whatever is going to happen now, he has to take the dictates of Senegal. And this is what we are seeing because one, in 2017, Aruna Jatta was more than in broad daylight. We advocated for his justice. Yeah.
Yeah.
In that 2017, Ismaila was sought by the Senegalese in Kanilai, Banna Salole, Femmanke. You know, in early 2019, a CID officer, you know, the Alcalo of Karola brother, Fabakari, they were arrested and jailed in Biam checkpoint. What checkpoint of Bedamendo? Ye Maboje. From there, ye hinge. Ye samba straight to Senegal. Almost 1 week. In our name, Bruno Fabakari are paralyzed. Half body dead because of what inhumane treatment. In which I do ask questions. Ika body intellect question. Interior Minister defend Jabila, Defense defend Jabila. And when you call back at and you killing in drone soul menka ke Foni, I had to use don't be bent as parliamentarian. Go. Let's not demonstrate, but can we write a petition to the government?
Yeah.
In which we did. We copied the international organizations all young. We copied all of them. Civil society, Ngadi Barola. That was the other time we went on a follow-up. Okay. It's only Ibrahim Sanka, wala nada ka foko, ha Foni la nyimfenko. He didn't even write to us, neither even respond. As courtesy, let's go. Kabidum Furada, Baro cannot tell us anything except Mba follow kane. You know, for Justice Minister, Pura you call Jube, Akanya Mbali informal. He also told us go beyond the checkpoint. Baro ko ada and told that Amalon ko Ibuka Seno Kenya. For 7 years, 8 years, they are denying our people from farming. Yeah, that was Cabinet Minister of Defense, Ekuoma. Because go every time I do have questions on that. Checkpoint to a it's not strategic.
Yeah.
Foreign forces in your land, they mount an illegal checkpoint in that particular bend. Destruction of materials, lives, properties. I beg you in land since 2017 till date.
No compensation.
Now, that Defense Minister now that interested in go. Beyond a checkpoint, more me for bulol beje is Senoke. I write back now fire. That it is not going to be under my watch. I send my people to go and farm. Lumena, I was coming from Foni. I took Honorable Padem Bosane. We went together with my friend and 12 of my friends. We went to meet that Juf, commander, member checkpoint. We went just less than even meters. We see bunkers of weaponry, arm and ammunition. I'm going to go Juf. Soon Minister Mowane, Fi, Young Abakela, you know, let people come and farm. Okay, you think we are stupid? To come and farm, to la meron munto, ikasija, but you bungalet. These are heavy weapons. Don't be we didn't go, hey. No, buy come ligia. I went and ascertained myself, that place is not qualified, prove more. I say not land. Secondly, we saw a lot of killing in Foni. And we're killing we informed them, Minister Defense, Interior thing, SIS thing, you know, Assyrians thing, instant information. The information sent Buba Nyame, Wolfgang can receive in raw of the current happening. I can tell you more than 50-something cells, Walla Lanta in Foni, in different locations. There'll be a Bungol Johnny. They have now, you know, a Bilal Tinya, it kills animals. You know, this had what happened. Gardinol Musol Kela Gardinol Bulale, Ibuka Kapanyolu, Meango is almost 4 kilometers to the border. They leave their garden, Ibuka Seno Fanankeje. Sa into Lamonu, Handy Lota, in Dronon, Mero Membe Foni, as I for a Drono Benyadin, as I explain you, Kenyadin. Okay. Who's not even going to see? And now, in Biam, it can Drono control J, because I wrote a parliamentary question called Biam checkpoint, and in Kanilala, Senegalese base, they are bases of drones. No information, nothing. They ignore. They among Hajis of the Fonila Porto. Kabiro Keta, Ngajeko, we will not relent. On the 1st of January 2024, it will be a remembrance day for all of us. But Yandi wo, Kangalabota, Selo Lebot na Senegal. I Kangalabota na Surado Membe Kangalabota. ala rufoni hit fala kordani jani to assist 25,000 abanta auto ala fengolu ala sene fengolu tiolu manolu fengolu a be jani to assist ala donni ko be jani to assist
in the Gambia
ala donkey lol fana ala donkey ala jan ni la bulo dundi je isita neo dunde da ita manola fang weda donkey ni be survival ala nos kabri waketa I went ko Dua Fanan, in that instance, we call a Dua Fanan suit inside Gambia. I went. Under my National Assembly member, come and for I am on record.
Yeah.
Defense Minister, Interior Minister, CDS, National Security Advisor, and again Deputy NIA Director.
Yeah.
Go. For in a situation of 10.
Yeah.
Don't laugh the long. Now, we will determine. And we are not going to step back. We are ready to fund our demonstration. Senegalese be wala biya me bo kanilal. Me domuro tabilale nga jeko modite dunna block
and
tambila talaji.
But what is security coming to file now need that?
Yeah. No, we'll sit. So kabiya lonko ngwe say currently duwa manje. 2 weeks duwa manje. Sign indola bungo tinyata. Kabiro okeda they start kabiya lonko don't be serious. Unko nalma nka apparent to pata bemen. So Saturday they met, Sunday they met with Barrow. Ako national security they instructed I call Uraro. Ko by tomorrow 10 o'clock yes somanda nga beng at Airport Johnson beng at Foni. This was the first ever in the history of Barrow. All this echelon IG all these service chiefs mbele tata je nga commencé Foni Binta up to Kanela for fitro to ascertain they have seen it for themselves. Ya je and duwa fanan yememvo ya je ya fa damendo ya adema ko jannem ye janne ya sud janne ya fa kabiri woto it was silence every time carry mind
kabira buta
woto pam carry mind nothing. So now what we did was unko bakare you are the one member of the area say we will not come but yes still let's remind them. Father, do you know what happened? Duala Saya, it was only our nephew member customers. He was the one running every hospital Sigensor whatever to search for the body. For Alan Hatakeko, I body ninja at a mortuary. This was what he called his brother in Gilamfari, brother Tadafan to ascertain. Kabindon we had to call them. Al Murna, Alkana dead body in Ta. This is not our body, it's owned by the government. Alkana ma pruka samana. Hit and push whatever. Not they understood us. I informed the defense minister, but Lieutenant Kari. I informed all of them. They were no, can you find a guy who is true? This was how they know a gunman who was missing for 40 days today is seen in a mortuary dead.
Okay.
So Kabiro Okeda, we work on, thank God, it will find they prepared, we collaborated together for body nata kola, we went through post-mortem, we ascended the cause of death. So in the burial, they also went security, CDS, defense deputy IGP, Minister of Defense, IG. Sorry, I told them from Interior. They all went with the governor and also until National and other fellow National Assembly members. Yankuba Dabo Nyolu, Alaji Dabo. It was a state burial. I can tell it. Yeah. And in that also conditionally, they saw to us that it's seriousness.
Yeah.
Barrow had to give 1.3 million
to the family. And in which we appreciate with that. Yeah. We cannot say Joro Kele, but it was ever in far the first time. Do you know what the Senegalese are far be? Yeah. The following 3 days, they changed these people, they brought new people. The government was silent. So this is how we went. And now I can tell you any Faro Minkada Foni. Many times I can send you all in a death certificate. Yeah. We have all those things documented. Yeah. But the fact of the matter is, I'm very sorry to the government. So far security is concerned, Senegalese don't want to open themselves in security. It's only the Gambia milk fire. Senegal will come with weapons inside the Gambia Fatou. Ning Gambia arm for wala moli e muta. They have instruction from the top Alibula. Gambia, you're not mad to do that in Senegal.
Can I observe a point here?
You're not mad.
Can I observe a point? Maybe time is generous, but importantly, summarize.
Yeah.
Recently, Gambians, I'm still talking to the Gambians because Mtoleta Muna votes, Nyanta kana attitude and behavior change towards our political dispensation and inka policy nyame. Recently, out of nowhere, President Adama Barrow pardoned people many alonko. He musolle rape a far.
Yeah.
He musolle strangle a far. He didn't only rape a song. Up to 7 people.
Yeah.
He will pardon them.
Yeah.
You are saying that you are serious. You are concerned for youths and children in this country. It's another thing. Gambia no nyanta min jubela. Womanke ko Adama Barrow amanke MPP. That is about the Gambia.
Yeah.
Fatou today, dealing with the attitude ni la behavior tinyata. Because there are certain things min told them norms and values manta. And in the dino manta, min kamunta ko gambling.
Yeah.
At one point, the government min binindam, they are stopped. But Kabrina record that it's not fair because more than tell a right to do whatever. But what impact means sort of the dino attitude come imo will jube. Kabrin be a gambling glal yele. What will dino number 12-15 years be susel sunyala, Montarol be sunyala, sunyaro on the rise. The amount of drugs min kadunil banko kam, it's affecting until the future population, that is the youth. Gambia manzakunda ba jube kan. How many tons of drugs le mutata jam? Ni Interpol no investigate no. Interpol kamol command on political thing la. APRC non alkana ni mandraga use, alkana ni grill. When there is something more, it will not come in discourse. Then actually Senegal and Gambia is also classed as international. The soldiers can come into the Gambia and shoot our Gambians and kill them and take the dead body. They cannot do anything. We can investigate. This is the type of Gambia we are living. 100 children die as a result of negligence of the government, bringing in here medication that causes acute kidney injury. Up till now, what's happening? Nothing. Every day, every other day, they will tell you that somebody is killed, found killed, and so on. Recently, a British woman was found killed out of nowhere. But those people coming for the border to protect the Senegalese coming in or criminals doing their criminal activities. Those are the very people who took guns and tear gas to come and tear gas innocent citizens at their place. Yeah. What are we talking about? This is what we are trying to say. The system which is Amantaraka Gambian Lumakoi and will not continue to Unyama. Lumbe Sila, Adama Barrow will be alone. I'll give you 2 examples. Kwame Nkrumah, he went with 90 personnel to China. But Kabri Amulko ya kudetale. Some of them are disowned, they flew back to Ghana. Ala foreign minister, I only kick at a fact final. After Ghana was on Abrajele, he was on his own. Fafat. President Jaya Jame, today, at the Malebejana, where are those people? We are long kona punti de kala samuto, ala Gio na amuteng, na apa ike kuala. Where are they? They left him alone. Adama Barrow should learn from that. Adama Barrow ponga alone ko. The foreign MP, he referred them to Yaya Jamila MPs. Muna tinga molmine karte fay ni wole foundation ke ko wole ko al tiaga sota and in guns and the first day I saw them at night I told the person is called Koli because I'm terrified. There is no fighting here. Why are you coming here with arms and ammunition just to ask us whether or not permit us at I don't know. But look at the woman there's somebody to the border to prevent the Senegalese from coming in and killing our people. Exactly. But they can come and kill us and even tear gas us.
And I think this is seriously, this is
very serious.
No, this is something that the government should look at because nobody is more Gambian than the other person.
Yeah, because when this issue happens, because for Senegal mantle fale. Honorable Bakari Bayo of the constituent, Dua Mwala mobilize it. And Dua also become our West Coast General Mobilizer. Bakari went to Sigansor as an MP to search for his remains. To no avail, with every step, the government is informed. For it's only us that inform the government to carry fatally. You see how terrified the situations are?
Yeah.
Not the government saying ko ngafure jelede. When we made that, they now made their inquiries in which Barrow was involved to call Maki for the remains of this Dua to be sent to the country. But now, with all the hitches member carrying, Ndola Gambia armed forces are not well armed. Cells ka jolong in Foni as if rains, drops of rain. Do you know Gambia armed forces kamelke? They hide. Ni hide ni sell drop that. Then they will now go to the village and say, Fado kana jamma abulaje ni natanga bonni kana nyinke in our own soil. 2006 it happens in Jammeh's time. Around Siwal. Our four ablai wadaye ko. If any cell not doctor again, it will be something else. 2006 till date 2017 cell man jolong in Gambia. So it's a joke. Senegalese all be they can come and do whatever they like here and go scot-free. But Gambia, you're not mad to do that. Senegals are, I can tell you for free, in the history of Gambia, in any way Gabege results, Abaita, grade 9, is because of Foni. In Senegal, so La Manya, I can tell you also, you can find, send your investigative journalists. Since 2017, till date, 2024, resources of Foni is deteriorating day by day. And our children have been impregnated in Foni because of the Senegal occupancy.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Women are having problems with their wives.
Family
in Foni.
Yes.
Senegalese muso Norma in Buyam and in Fango. Akobare abe kenyi mantoralele. It was a police case in Buyam. Did they investigate?
Oh.
I can tell you for free also. In Buyam Hospital, Senegals have their intelligence. How stupid those people think. Yeah, I mean, when in the Kelobe caring, rebel been a hospital auto. So it will let me just go there and investigate. We've gone to the hospital. In Kanila, yeah. A big base, a tower control, all the Santo. That is even hampering the communication of QCell in our end. It is reported Senegal has taken security of the country. Security tally. And now, with all these issues men carrying, we have intelligence in Foni, SIS. But it's not SIS, NIA, because it's not repeat. NIA are there in Foni. We have the police in Foni. We also have the PIs in Foni. We also have the soldiers in Kanila and Foni. I can tell you one for free. I should not be biased. The reason why Foni is still stable and the people in the border are living in peace and happily is because of the Gambia Armed Forces. I can tell you.
And my last...
They don't like a patrol, but sometimes they lack resources.
They lack resources.
So now, if they can jointly do issues abnormal, why can they base? For example, near Gambia rank security for a rank in the border. Huh? Kumanke. And then the other thing, yeah. Gambia soldier with Masibola. Do you know whether you are informed that the deputy CDS with all camp commanders went to Sigenso to sign a treaty? Well, and border patrol, parallel patrol, joint patrol in an area where you have rebels. Yes. Fatu, this country is a joke. It's a joke. They want to terrify the people.
Are you aware of that, Fatu?
No. They want.
No, can you please go and find out?
I can send you all those information. Now, how do you go and sign? For example, do you know what they're doing? They will hear me well in Parliament. I'm going to talk against this. Because you cannot go and sacrifice our Gambia armed forces in the border. Senegal fight with the rebels. It's not a fight.
No, it's not a fight.
We inform our people, Ali Fata Bodala. Ale fata ila talola ila lola ila fiangol nta hani ndivin foji kansa ya kafa ko Gibba ko alpha da Senegal la talola ika ole ke donkilolti because I make sure to inform ko let's stay put in order for us not to be harmed. But now if they are preparing ko from Dashlam, that is K to K, Karong to Kalaji, they will do joint patrol, parallel patrol, in which in the Senegal will lead, in the Gambia will lead. Every day we are hearing killings. Foni is not stable. Issues. So then if can they learn their lessons?
What I want to ask is, why can they swap the Ghanaians from Yomi to Foni to see
they have vested interest?
Yeah, and see what you said something that is really I am traumatized last minute, you know.
Yeah.
What is a norm in Foni?
Yeah, it's a norm.
Karango ibuka complete no. Children that time, you got school father, you got Ninkido Eben. Senegalese, so let me tell you one thing. You know, in military, for example, now, if war is about to walk on, when you are in full combat, it means you are ready for war. You see the so-called the Senegalese soldiers will be in the interior little and a kido chode Kasamasla. In Foni. And now, let me tell you, if it is economic, Dolka mo ko Fatou Nigerian economic contingent is completing their mission and they are coming in. Yeah. Senegal economy is continuing their mission and they are coming in. From Bukaje Kabir Senegal is change in State House. Rather, ask in Foni.
Whether they
change, they go to Siliti. They don't even inform the people of Foni. Ikaje motorbike na nyingbe samba. Motorbike na nyingbe natina. And they enter with weapons.
They don't even inform
arms
the state.
And ammunition in this country. Senegal is taking control.
They don't inform
of
the
our
state.
Security affairs.
Honorable, say it properly. They don't even inform the state. They do the interchange.
B, ita hanila as a Gambian envoy commander. Ita hanila B, yes, Senegal so muta with arms. Hania muta jang farafenye. Eba fula buy from them. We are a joke. This country is a joke. The defense, securities, CDS from Ibe alone the 3 million member carrying jang. Arm and security jang. No, this country is finished. I can tell you.
With all of this happening, what is the mind state of the people of Foni?
No, the mindset is terrified.
It's terrified, traumatized.
Foni, it seems as if, you know, a thrown area, unwanted area, or because Jame is from Foni, so they have to feel the pain. And I can tell you for free, mark my words, even if they like it or not, whatever they're going to do now, we will stay as an opposition, and we are happy with that. They cannot intimidate us and now want us to be pocketed like that. Or ninge dundi, ye toroke, ye qualify, they will change. Politics of this hate or intimidation cannot change us. We will remain ever. And I can tell you, for Foni we stand, and for Foni we die for. So far, the 5 representatives of people of Foni, we will remain as an opposition, and a genuine one that for that matter. Whereby people, you know, ajube ndeka memba han Foni dingolo, ni ko hatola, but afueko, ika Foni ye muso men follow 2017, muso men follow ka kono tinya ke Foni, muso men follow 2017, kono tinya ke Foni musolem. Didn't a teenager may arrest her and send a mile to his Foni. The person who forced to die in Barrow's government is a son of Foni. The people who are thrown away from government and employment are the people of Foni. Whatever you talk of Foni.
Hence, now you know why the Foni.
So now do you think we will support this cause? Do you think we will support a genuinity on this matter? And now the tractors, Yemembeta, Mola Kualo, is Fonilem. They cease from farmers. Ya samba ya wafi. Ya ke social aso ida maltema. And now do you know in Kanilai, a tower man of a water tank. Gio, itare ya be kuntum, ya be jindi ya own screw because of Jame. In Jame's house, yala suit soul, and I think what they stole everything in his house. I sent a parliamentary question, if what the army is investigated, which is a battalion. A private home of an individual father, your home. I changed it to be a military base. It is called the 4th Infantry Battalion. So are you telling Nimbarofan and Jita will have the 5th Infantry Battalion? Or if for the Chorr President will have 6th Infantry Battalion?
You mean a private resident?
Yeah, resident. It's a military base now.
Yeah.
So you see this?
Wow.
So it's rather unfortunate.
I just hope, you know.
When they look around and said, it will, you know, election time was here. We community kafa in politician or normal. Majority of them are women and youth. Ning jawiyata je aide ka kalero le dira waran sunkalam. People understand no. You know murun ko ke the same musol. Ikaw dimol le tay ki humiliate. I'm only talking about Foni. We'll be carrying everywhere across the country. When issue to me, we should look at it together. Politician all. It's only used in order to get those positions. Wo be rumu sikil won't be intimidate kan won't be battering. Won't be battering. Migration, for example, can you back with me for? Migration is as old as man.
Yeah.
Most can migrate like. We call them tourists. We call them expats. We call them, you know, all sorts of nice names. But do they call us foreigners or immigrants? They can allow other people to come into this country without any visa. Country Bali, visa fee, revenue sort of. But until Tata Dauda can visa and we pay for it. These are issues that for us independence sort of. Look, we are control electoral reform the discourse. Nta sino la ka discuss ni EU man ko do dina ngata si the most expensive hotel nka mojo sitting allowance la expensive. Why can't we go and sit under the mango tree molbe la domoro samana ngake in order for us to dictate our own self? Wala tubabol can dictate. Ita na jore nyama anything be minkela. Ntol ka fonds of le tol le bulu it can dictate nyanta minkela. Recently na bridge ojibe ikoy ba kala moneti. Okay. No, still can be printed. It could be linked out.
Yeah,
Kamugate. But 1 month after the because time sitter. Not the more Jamina. I mean, not continue. One.
2 weeks time.
Okay.
You have not 2 weeks then. Maybe next week.
Okay.
No. Next week we have a workshop.
Honorable has to come because FGM below. Y'all sign time on no more time on completely. But we have to have a conversation about that bill.
So below you parambela fela ni jande mina.
Yeah.
Lafta fela ni salita bi. Fitirola o safo whatever time of prayers. Please, I need your dua
for
that bill to proceed, inshallah.
What do you mean?
It's a progressive bill.
Well, we need to talk about that.
We need to talk. That is the whole bill. That's the interest of the bill. Kana Fado kana Tora, Almameh kana Tora. But Ninko sa Fado is sorong. Almameh tara jelola. Don't man lafi wala Gambia. We are all both same father and mother. That is the essence of the bill. Ninko baby me diamukang. It's not about ite Tora de. Fatu, akana Tora, alafa mena aitama, Almameh kana Tora de. Alafa mena fana aitama.
No ibinale.
You just point left for me fana clarify. Because you got Foday Chorr, guaranteeing Sanyang, Lamin Tamba. Ole tata IGP he permit me apply. Intela wulu kono kabring science. Sanji tawo. Minimum permit apply.
Ikana mo bata Lamin Tamba pe ofendele kala de.
No me atena.
Ada fan kabring rejection no. Foday membo. Iko do kwenye kwa evidence. Coming with evidence, a post that API we have resolved the issue with the police. We are coming bigger tonight.
On Facebook.
On Facebook. We are coming bigger. We have resolved. Yeah, we resolved.
I've been killed and share to the security advisor. I accept as a problem.
Like seriously? No, more come on and take a post kele ya screenshot yaki.
Saintol ali pare ko kata ngomi ke control na to alliance la. But what is wrong with that?
It's not about alliance. Fado, UDP dula London, don't lot of diamond phone ya bele London. All you know ya bele London. Aloni dawo nga bele London. So any mall member alliance, albalo ni lawo nyama.
No, I level mu biggest film.
So molu.
Hani la statement of they throw stone at you guys.
Because
ye jambe majele.
Cooking ne bije. Cooking ne bije mbo kola jane bita. Ya no level ko ntemu UDP le. Usenu dabo kabri ya bula. Ako ya ate personally ya jame ko kukela yampata. Ya jame bama bantal. Atata ya ajale through the late some jamme. Ansu jamme. Ako kabra ba bantal. Ya jame kata ya. Usenu lota kapoko na ko mole ateneng ya nyal aya pula because ajeko atemke akole al say. These are things me alone personality attending more tema. I understand. Attending more tema. But I role me ke press release ke wo ala status as a party leader as an opposition. I will ke.
Yeah.
But more from ibuka understand because ite mu party leader is status soro. Imu national assembly, imu speaker is status soro. The status with conflict interest. We banko dinanyoko. But ito ko ite diamu. Foday Chorr diamu. Allah barakaba.
Mobile nyanta diamla. Honorable. Nimbota jambe time set lale. You have to come back. We have to look at that bill.
Yeah.
We have to look at that bill and then look at it how progressive, are you taking us back? Because human rights fighters or feminists or, and the campaigners are really, looking at why that bill at this time.
No, they are rushing away from their responsibility.
In 2024.
No, it's not a taken back.
I will definitely have to.
Human rights polling gasot.
That is a human right. Fado. You can jail me in mile 2 in Banjul because of practicing my religious right. Is that human right? So me, I want to discriminate and make sure that Fatu freedom ke fanna. Ndefanga freedom ke fanna. Mbita ala hani mo kane police. Ite dala hani mo kane police. Simple.
Yeah.
This is the whole issue. But I know also, but I am also advocating. You do have a poor quality son here.
Before I'll have to bring you back.
Thank you very much.
Anyway. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
very much.
Thank you so much. I hope the authorities listen to this and understand the people of Foni need attention. Genuine attention.
And the people where they call no alliance until we will not sit to bring this country to disrepute. The peace and tranquility of this country is our concern. And Kajeko Mansakunda member Sirinje they go through. Mansakunda Mbijentol to Kuno for 26. So what can we do?
And I do tell my statement in my political whatever Hanadam defense meeting that in security there is no politics. So when they use politics in security, it's going to be something else. So I'm urging the government to make they disassociate security personnel from politics for us to have a progressive.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable. Thank you, Uncle Foday, and to the technical team and you all watching. Thank you very much. Until we come your way next week, inshallah. Good night to you all. Bye-bye. See you again.
Thank you. Thank you.
Airport Residency Estate is a gated community located in Old Yundum, proudly developed by Swami India, perfect for all looking for a quiet life with luxury amenities within an enclosed setting. When talking about the benefits of living in a gated community, safety and security is top on the list. They allow extra privacy, take away the hustle of unwelcome solicitors, and create a safe haven for children to play in a trusted environment without traffic or speedy vehicles. A great sense of community develops through the meeting at a controlled communal leisure facilities, offering an integrated lifestyle. A green environment and well-managed communal areas are keys to higher home standards, elevated quality of life, and better property value should you consider home reinvestment in the future. Added to all is the location, just next to the airport and reconstructed main road, yet tucked in the tranquility of nature. Our purpose is one, your satisfaction. Contact us. Let us help you build your dream home in the Gambia.
We are happy to announce the launch of our new logo. We have evolved since our incorporation in 1997, and it is time to refresh our new look to reflect who we are today. Before I reveal our new look, however, walk with me while I take you through our journey of the last 25 years. Trust Bank was incorporated on July 3rd, 1997 and began operations on October 1st, 1997. Following the collapse of the parent company of its predecessor, Meridian, the CBG stepped in and recapitalized the bank and held the shares in trust, thus the name Trust Bank. In 1999, the first investors who responded to the IPO and paid $1.50 per share received their maiden dividend of 50 bututs per share. In 2000, the bank fully paid to create the kind of company that delivers quality services and innovative products with an inspired team dedicated to serving our customers, our environment, and our communities at large in the most caring manner. We remain fully committed to delivering excellent services to each of our stakeholders: customers, employees, shareholders, and partners. So, we remain true to who we have always been. As we look forward to greater achievements, we are rebranding to reflect who we are today and the future that we inspire. Our new logo has been designed to visually demonstrate our Gambian heritage and the sophisticated nature of the bank. We are moving away from the navy and gold-colored parallelogram-shaped logo to our baobab tree with a rising sun in the background. The striking outline of a baobab tree at sunrise is a familiar sight to anyone who has spent time in the Gambia. Our new logo and visual identity are inspired by our core values and spirit of being a pioneer in providing a unique banking experience. It is a completely new look that better matches the transformation we have made as a company. But we remain your trust bank. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my singular honor to present to you our new logo and corporate identity.